so I can sign on. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's y'all.
That y'all standing there.
I sure had to look over to see what y'all had on. I'm like, yeah, that's
This an old broadcast or what?
right.
Is this current?
Yeah, we lying. Boy, y'all crazy. I think I'm good. All right, cake's all done. It's over.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Worldwide assembly. To the strangers joined into our household, Shabbat Shalom. We're going to get started today. Get our prayer on. We're going to face the east. Like 1 Kings chapter 8. We're going to uncover our heads, men. Sisters cover their heads when praying or prophesying in the assembly. 1 Corinthians 11. We're going to stretch forth our hands to the heavens, to our Abba. 1 Tim 2 and 8. Let's get it cracking, y'all.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it's with the Most High's permission. And in the name of His only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, our uncrowned King and our holy Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. And around these parts we know Him as Jesus the Christ. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 26th chapter, it reads, Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Most High. Therefore, I shall not slide. Examine me, O Yahweh, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblance. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash mine hands in innocency. So will I compass thine altar, O Master, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving and tell of all thy wondrous works. Yahweh, I have loved the habitation of thy house and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Most High. Hallelujah! Say that!
Yes, sir, family.
All praises.
Yeah, get it
Praise
going.
God, Elohim. All right, y'all, today, topic at hand is going to be about, the subject matter is male nor female. And we're going to go into a couple of case studies. But what we're going to also show today through this session is Christ's appreciation and his value towards our coatees and imams, the sisters and the mothers of our households, those that believe. Now we have to also understand, it's not extended to all women. Just like the love is not extended to all men. But we have to also show how the law is not just made or a punishment just deemed worthy to the woman only, but also to the man. See, we like to stress how the man is the head and everything, and then we want to beat up our women and treat them as like they're less than, when they have just as much value as the man.
Exactly.
And then we're going to show examples of how Christ proved that. Because it was just like back in the day, like it is today. The non-appreciation for the woman. Negroes thinking, oh, once I marry you, you my possession. You have no say-so. You shouldn't have no understanding. Just stay in the kitchen and stay on your back. But with that mindset, what do you think about your mama?
Mm-hmm.
With that mindset, what do you think about your sisters and your aunts and your granny? Then if that's your mindset, you must place them in the same context.
That's right.
Because you come from a woman. But these Negroes have lost their natural minds, clowning our sisters, beating them down, spiritually, mentally, physically, and every other way they can, to exalt themselves like they are to be of some greater stature. Well, we're going to prove otherwise according to the law and also according to the words of our Messiah, the Savior of not only our nation but all believing nations. So we're going to get started in the book of Galatians. We'll start in Galatians chapter 3. Got a couple of case studies that we're going to deal with in Hosea chapter 4, Isaiah 3, Jeremiah 44. But first we need to establish, because there is a doctrine.
Shabbat shalom, Mike.
Shabbat shalom, brethren. There's a doctrine going forth amongst Israelites that if a woman doesn't have a covering, that she's destined to damnation, everlasting damnation, lake of fire. She can't enter into the kingdom. That if she has no covering. Yeah, that's what we need to know, but there is none presented. These Negroes are just modern day Pharisees, Sadducees, and there's another group that Josephus talks about. I can't remember the name of them, but it's in the book of Josephus and Jewish Antiquities. Mm-hmm. There's a third sect. And these cats were like philosophers, and they were knowledgeable in Greek philosophy, and they were Pharisees of the Greek philosophy. So I can't remember the name of them, but I can find it for you if anybody's interested in it. But it's in the book of Josephus, his Jewish Antiquities. I could get that for you too, because I have the book present. And matter of fact, I'm gonna read an excerpt out of it today to go along with the subject matter. But it was common back in the day where men viewed the women as having no voice, no say-so, no strength, no power. She was just considered to be a possession. Just like the Negroes today say, you know, she's a possession. Okay, well, we're gonna see what you should do with your possessions. If she's a possession, then let's see if we should have everything in common and sell your possessions like in Acts chapter 2. You got extra women, or you gonna sell your possessions that all men have things in common? All right, we're gonna get started in Galatians chapter 3. We're gonna jump around a lot, y'all. We're gonna be in and out, but that's what the scripture instructs us to do. Here a little, there a little, precept upon precept, line upon line. That's what we're gonna do. That's how we get down. Galatians chapter 3, and We'll get right to the point. Verse 28. Let me see if we back it up. Okay, we can start at 24.
22.
22 then.
Yeah, that's 22. 22 to the end then, right?
Huh?
To the end.
Yeah, you can do it all the way to the end.
Shabbat shalom, Mike.
Shabbat shalom, brother.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Galatians. And it's chapter 3. And we'll start our reading at about verse 22. Everybody there?
Yes, sir.
Let's get some understanding, family. But the scripture hath concluded all under sin, that the promise of faith of Yahweh Shah Mashiach might be given to them that believe.
So, and that's because that the Gentiles, if we read in Romans 11, the Gentiles were grafted in through faith. Remember, Abraham was justified and became a friend of the Most High by faith. The written law wasn't then. He had an oral law given to him by his granddaddy, Noah, and Shem, and all those brethren, his patriarchs that came before him, who passed down that oral law. But then because of the stiff-neckedness and the hard-headedness of Israel, it had to be written down. Just like your mama would do and post it on the refrigerator, so you can't say, there's no excuse, you didn't know, you saw it. Now you might have forgotten what I said to you, but ain't no way you went in and out of that refrigerator and didn't see my instructions.
Right.
So now you're without excuse. Okay, read on.
But now another thing too with this, to broaden it a little more, because it says, but the scripture hath concluded all under sin, not just Israel,
No,
and not just
all.
our nation, all.
Everyone.
So if it's anybody of another nation that's willing to get down with this
Because he created
script
them.
line upon line,
Right.
it's for them as well, because like it says, that the promise by faith of Yahweh Shah Mashiach might be given to them
That believe.
believe.
What did he say to Cornelius? I have found no faith like this in all of Israel.
And
Cornelius was of the Roman band, the Italian band.
Yeah.
He was a centurion. That means he had high rank in the Roman army. But he said, you got more faith than all my nation. Because you didn't have to see a sign. You said just speak the word and that's enough for me. My people want to see something, do something, show me so I could believe.
Right. Convince me.
Even after his resurrection, what the disciples were, man, I need to see this. I don't believe nothing. Doubting Thomas. Yeah, whatever, I heard you talking. But until my eyes lay, then I'll believe. He said, but blessed are those who believe and hadn't seen. You know who that's extended to? Us. Well, Paul says, blessed are those who come after us who has only these epistles to believe by. For we have been here and saw it.
Right.
We know what happened. We bear witness to it and wrote it down. But guess what? There comes generations behind us who all they can do is have faith and believe on that which was written and left behind. Now that's major faith. Because a lot of them who saw and fell from the faith still ain't getting in. And they saw it with their naked eyes. So how much greater is he that hadn't seen, but based off your faith, you believe and enter? That's a blessed thing, so hold on, Israel.
Right. That's right.
Stand fast.
That's right. Keep the faith.
Keep the faith. For the last shall be first.
Yeah. Verse 23.
Yes, sir.
But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed.
Christ's been here from the beginning of time. But there came a time where Christ wasn't being preached. The law was being preached, the order of Aaron. But Christ was still on the scene. He was showing up, putting in work. But people wasn't tripping off him, and the prophecies written of him that he should come later, born of a virgin, and things of that nature. The Pharisees knew that. They had these texts. They knew all about Isaiah. They knew all about his prophecies. However, him coming on the scene at that time messed up their money. No more getting paid. No more pulling a switcheroo, 3-chord Mahdi on the people. They had to get a job. And they also had to believe in the Messiah in order to receive everlasting salvation. But pride won't allow it. Read on, bro.
Verse 24. Wherefore, the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Hamashiach.
Bring us unto obedience. Okay, read on.
That we might be justified by faith. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster.
So does that mean that the law is void? God
No.
forbid. How else would you understand sin if there's not a law? How can you transgress the law and be without sin? For sin is transgression of the law.
That's right.
So what will you be judged by? In a court of law, when you brought into a court of law in this carnal society, you are brought in because you have broken a what? A law.
Yeah, you said it right there. A court of what?
Law.
That's right.
So when you brought before magistrates, you brought because you have offended in a law. So ain't no way you can say the law is done away with. We just live by faith and grace. Then is it okay for me to steal what you have, kill you, rob you, plunder, covet, disrespect your parents? Is that okay?
Just
Is
come
that
up-
proper?
Come up and grab your wife by the hand and walk off with her?
Is it proper? Why not? Because it's breaking of the law.
That's right.
So don't tell us that the law is done away with. If the law is done, then there's no order. Read on.
Verse 26. For ye are all the children of Yah by faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. For as many of you as have been baptized into Hamashiach have put on Hamashiach.
By your faith and belief in changing and becoming that new person, changing your whole conscious state and mindset and heart from wickedness and law breaking to law abiding and faith in Hamashiach. Believing in the promises granted to our forefathers that by doing in obedience, you shall inherit eternal salvation. That's putting on Christ.
That's right.
That's believing. That's having faith. That's Hebrews 11.
I think we should go there after that.
Okay,
It's
brother,
all
we can
faith.
do that.
We wanted to do that. Verse 28.
Yes, sir.
There is neither Jew nor Greek.
Huh?
There is neither bond nor free.
Huh?
There is neither male nor female. For ye are all one in Hamashiach Yahushua.
So how do you separate the sister and say, and the imams and say they have no right?
One day is creation too.
That's right.
If the other nations have salvation granted, what makes you think the sisters can't? What kind of crazy things are y'all on, man? That you will extend such hatred towards your imams and the Kotis. And you came from a woman. You were born of a woman who nurtured you for 9 months But this is the love we extend to our sisters. Nah, you ain't got no rights. You ain't have no say-sos. Well, we gonna prove otherwise according to this law. That is one law unto the man and female.
That's right.
If they break them, they're both accountable. But you don't place more of a punishment upon the sister because she's the weaker vessel, and you shut her out and shame her. Well, what about the man? So we're gonna deal with a lot of these instances, okay? Well, I said, did we finish that?
Yeah, one last one. And if ye be Hamashiachs, then are ye Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise.
And the promise is eternal salvation. Not everybody's going to the kingdom. If a heathen nation is saved, or a heathen person is saved and has salvation, they're not going to the kingdom. However, they'll be dwelling on this earth 1,000 years and being servants, righteous servants unto the children of Israel for 1,000 years. Yeah, court of the Gentiles. They will remain in their land, and each year they have to come to their border and do the Feast of Tabernacles and present themselves without spot, blemish, and wrinkle, and give praise to our Elohim and recognition that we are those people. These are their instructions. For they shall be servants. But wouldn't you rather be a servant than to eternal damnation?
That's right.
That's salvation. Kingdom and kingdom. You allowed to give praise and worship and not go through hell and torment?
And since we're talking about the word faith, we should get some understanding
Okay,
on what faith is.
All right, let's hit it.
So we're going to turn to Hebrews 11, and we'll start our reading in verse 1.
Because we use it loosely, don't we, brother?
Right, like everybody knows what faith really is, and we'll show them what the scriptures say it is.
What the Most High say it is.
That's right. All praises to
Not
the
by our
Lord.
own mouths.
Yeah.
We let the law speak.
Yes, sir.
It needs no support.
It's an absolute.
It was here before us. It's going to be here after us. It needs no. He said, "To heaven and earth pass away, these words will stand."
That's right.
Exactly. Without it, no man lives. You can't survive. You might be just living off of reserved air,
Yeah.
but you on your way out. With this, there's guaranteed life. Guarantee.
Now we're in the book of Hebrews, and we're in chapter 11, and we'll start our reading in verse 1. Let's get some understanding, family. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yah, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto Yah a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yah testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh.
His body, his blood spoke from the ground. It's just like the evidence of, you see verse 48, and they say that the dead speaketh from the grave.
Yep.
Because evidence has been found and left behind by the victim. And it's like they're speaking from the grave. Right. But also, we see here that there was no written law for Abel to present a righteous sacrifice. So how did he know? It was oral from the Most High himself unto Adam, who was his daddy, who passed on that righteous information unto his son. For the scripture said, teach your children and your children's children. Train a child in the way it must grow.
Yes, sir.
Then if he lost his way, he'll know how to find his way back home. That prodigal son. Read on, bro.
Verse 5. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yah had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased Yah. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yah must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith, Noah, being warned of Yah of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world, and became heir of righteousness, which is by faith. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. But by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is Yah. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithfully who had promised.
Sarah.
Yes, barren Sarah.
Now he extended this mercy and blessing unto the sister, who was past the age of her flower and delivering a child. Why? Why women are so wicked and not to be valued? Why? Then where's the righteous seed gonna come from? How will it exist?
Right.
How are you saying you are of a royal priesthood? Had it not been for these sisters appointed for these acts? How you gonna get life without a sister being present? How is it possible? You ever seen a pregnant man? I pray I never see one.
Yeah, that's good enough on that. It's all, but that Hebrews 11, you guys read all of that, because it just goes on to show you other examples of faith in the scripture. But we all know that we have faith in the Most High, and this word never come back void.
Right, and it says if you when you read down that they died without receiving the promises, but they knew, hey, I get it, because there's a resurrection coming. Like Job said, I know with these eyes I'll see my maker. Faith. And guess what? He was an Edomite.
He was an Israelite?
No, Job wasn't no Israelite. Job was from the seed of Esau.
He had great faith.
Serious faith.
I know.
He was a wealthy man. He was a king back then. He was a wealthy man. And lost it all because of his faith.
Oh, praise.
But got it back double because of his faith.
And that's
All right,
what
where
we
else
have,
have we
that's
gonna
all
go
we
now?
have to go on is faith, huh?
Josephus, I wanted to read this out of Josephus. This is in the Jewish Antiquities, the book of Josephus. This in chapter 8. Book 4, chapter 8. If you have it, if you don't, write it down. This book is available on Amazon. You can order it. You can probably go to a bookstore, Christian bookstore, whatever. But this is the new complete works of Josephus. So it has both the Jewish antiquities and the Jewish wars in this book. So it's a good book. verifies a lot of things, especially of the law, because Josephus himself was a Pharisee. But Josephus was also, you have to be very careful about which information you bring forth, because remember, he was a Pharisee. Even though he writes about Christ, he writes about his power, he writes about his, his relevance and everything, but he was a Pharisee. All right, so that's a fact. And he gives his life, he breaks down his life, his lineage. He was a high priest. He was the offspring of high priests. And he said he was of the royal bloodline through his mother. Okay, this is Josephus, Jewish Antiquities, book 4, chapter 8, verse 12. Now what we prove in here is how the law is extended to both the women as well as the man and the children. Because there's a cat running around, a doctrine running around saying not only is a woman that doesn't have a cover going to damnation or everlasting hellfire, but there's a guy saying that him taking multiple wives, he preferred that his women be not into the scriptures. He don't want no woman that's into the scriptures. When he take extra wives, he don't want none of them women to be in the scriptures. He'll take them if they're in Islam or any other doctrine and everything. Reason being, you have to peep game. A woman that's in the scriptures gonna challenge the bull crap that he brings to the household and table because she's studying. So he ain't gonna be quick to, because then that's gonna present strife, and he has no control in that household anymore, because now his doctrine or his interpretation of the doctrine is being threatened and challenged. So he don't want that. What he want is dumb pickings, like a pimp. A pimp don't want no sister that has both street knowledge and book knowledge, because a sister that has those working for herself, she ain't gonna lend herself out to be to a pimp. She gonna be her own pimp. Right. She gonna manage her own money. She don't need a pimp. But one who has no understanding and is ignorant to the ways of street life, they need management. So what do they have? A pimp. So this is what these brothers who are Israelites are doing to our sisters. They pimping them. It is what it is. He says, mark those that cause divisions. These Negroes are pimping our occultes and our imams. And they're going to be held accountable. Because not only are you doing it, but you're teaching other men to do the same.
Right.
And they bearing witness to it, so they think it's okay.
Right.
So now what you raise? Damnable children. We're going to read about that in the book of Sirach, this ungodly brood by bastard slips. All right, Josephus. Verse 12, it says, when the multitude are assembled together unto the holy city for sacrificing every 7th year at the Feast of Tabernacles, let the high priest stand upon a high platform, thus he may be heard, and let him read the laws to all the people.
Some of the people.
All the people.
Just the ones I think.
All the people.
Okay.
And let neither the women nor the children be hindered from hearing, nor the servants neither. For it is a good thing that those laws should be engraved in their souls and preserved in their memories, that so it may not be possible to blot them out. For by this means they will not be guilty of sin when they cannot plead ignorance of what the laws have directed them. The laws also will have a greater authority among them, as foretelling what they will suffer if they break them, and imprinting in their souls by this hearing what they command them to do, that so there may always be within their minds that intention of the laws which they have despised and broken, and have thereby been the causes of their own mischief. Let the children also learn the laws as the first thing they are taught, which will be the best thing they can be taught, and will be the cause of their future good life. So who are you to say that the law is not for the sisters? Or that they shouldn't know the righteousness of the Most High and His holy begotten Son? Who are you, Negro?
The example of Abigail in the Bible.
Yep.
She had that understanding.
She had an understanding. Even though she was married to a knucklehead, she had understanding. If it wasn't for Zipporah, Moses would have been dead. Dead. Death was around the corner. Like Pac say, I see death around the corner. It was literally around the corner for Moses. Zipporah peeped him. Moses didn't have a clue. It's just like today when our sisters, when we have that righteous rib that looks out for our well-being, who warns us against what's outside, and we ain't even she tell you about that wicked friend you got that you trusted so much. She like, no, that nigga ain't no good. You better watch him.
Right.
Girl, what you talking about? That's been my boy. And then it happens.
Yeah.
Then it happens. Thank God. Thank you, baby. Yeah.
Good looking out, baby.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure. But I wanted to read that because this Pharisee he said that the women need to hear this. They need to understand where they might be going off. Salvation is expressed to them too. Let's get Genesis. What was you saying, Tupac?
I was just looking at some of the stuff you was talking about to go over. I know Jeremiah 4 is about 24 and 25. I was just going on my
Okay, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, because I'm all over the place. I ain't got it structured.
Right,
because as I was studying and everything, I had to just jot down, and so I really didn't compile it in no organized order. So that's why we're gonna be here, there a little bit, precept upon precept, bouncing around. But the main object, should I say, is to get understanding about the subject matter. So to show also the importance of a woman and the value of a sister, you also read in Numbers chapter 5. You can go there for yourselves, put it down, just write it down. But in Numbers chapter 5, which is the law of the Torah, where it says if a man and a woman commit the sin of a man, then they be found guilty. Then there's punishment for them both, and there should be atonement made. So it extends also that the law is not just for the punishment of a woman, but also for the man. We're going to go there. Genesis, we're going to go there how Adam tried to blame it on the sister. She did it. Like niggas today. We're going to go to Luke about the sister accused of adultery and the Negro one brought forth. See, these things ain't new. Negroes on the buddy system, yeah, she a hoe dog. Yeah, put her out there, throw her under the bus. But you guilty. And if she a hoe, you were joined unto that hoe. So what that make you? Let's call a spade what it is. You a hoe too. Matter of fact, you worse than a hoe because you led it. You led the wickedness. Ain't the man supposed to be the head? The covering? And he's supposed to teach the woman. Ain't that the natural order that we stress? Oh, Christ, man, woman, child. Oh, we love to stress that order, right? That hierarchy, right? But when are we going to take responsibility of that hierarchy? We're going to see in the law, if a man take another wife, what he should do for her. But they say polygamy. Well, bring it to us. If you so much into word etymology, bring us polygamy in Hebrew and tell us what it means. Because it's a Greek word that means many women. Orgy. That was the nature of that. Polygamy. Orgies. So that's what you practicing? And you never once bring up Lamech, who was the starter, the progenitor of multiple marriages and polygamy. And he was wicked as hell, the offspring of Cain, who was a murderer and a liar and prideful boaster of his wicked deeds. But you don't hear his name brought into that conversation, do you? Wonder why? I wonder why. They talk about all the great men who had multiple wives and all this and woo, 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 woo. Why don't you go all the way to the beginning, the root of it, which is Lamech? The murderer. Why don't we talk? Why his name never comes up in that conversation? Why? Why? And if you are faced with this conversation, throw in Lamech and see what happens.
Because the righteous man make polygamy look good, but the unrighteous man is not going to make polygamy look too inviting.
Because the righteous man that does it and performs it righteously according to the law, he provides righteously for his wives. David was a king, and you Negroes use that 1 Samuel talking about he would have been blessed with more wives. No, he cared for all those women. He didn't go in unto them because this was his mother-in-law and all those. So he'd have been breaking the law. How could he still be a king and then be the king resurrected? How is that possible? You Negroes are out of order. Out of order. Because lust is on your mind. Lust is on your mind. That's what it is.
Lust of mindset, you're absolutely right. But you know what else they teach? They're seeing the men do it. Now they got women in the Israelite community teaching polygamy.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, but we're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with some Hosea chapter 4. We're going to deal with that Jeremiah 44. How a lot of this stuff is brought on because the men have taught this behavior and the women are following suit. Now they condemn them. Being condemned for the same actions. Because you want to follow suit and you think you have the liberty to do this foolishness too? Well, I got it for you too. It ain't just for one side. Most High don't deal with respect of person.
No.
You trip, I'ma deal with you. It's simple as that. Cross the board.
That's what God said, don't teach an evil lesson against yourself.
We gonna hit that. 1 through 9, bro. We all on one accord. That's why we family. Hallelujah. What else?
Genesis.
Genesis. What? Hold on, no. 2 by 2 and some. Let's because I wanted to show the value how the Most High. Let's hit this Jeremiah 6. Jeremiah 6, and then we're gonna hit Sirach 24 and 25, and show how the Most High compares Israel to a delicate woman. But wisdom is also compared to a woman. Mm-hmm. Why? When you get the chance, mark your Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon is a love letter showing the relationship between man and woman. A love letter, love story. How he loved the woman. He took care of her, nurtured her. Gave her righteous doctrine. And when they made love, it was also sweet because it was according to law. With no lust involved. Tobias loved the woman and he took a wife to marry without lusting, like his sister. A righteous marriage and union. Purpose.
Shabbat shalom.
A lot of us, Shabbat Shalom, Nerve, a lot of us got with our significant others, our spouses through lust. But through the course of time, it turned into love and nurture because we start to understand the benefits and the purpose of marriage. We understood the long suffering and the patience and things of that nature that you had to deal with to nurture this relationship, to get it to the point where you loved and you respected each other like brother and sister. Where you be so together so long, you start looking like brother and sister.
That's my best friend.
Yes.
You dig? I can count on her when I can't count on anybody else.
That's right.
And that's what truly a union should be. It shouldn't be anything that's really based on just a strong physical attraction, because you have to be able to sit down and communicate, verbalize with your helpmeet, your other half. And see, that's the thing about it too. If this is your other half, nigga, how many halves you got? You know what I mean? Which one is your bottom broad, or your how does you number 1, 2, 3? How does that work? And that's I'm asking these questions.
You sound confused.
Right, because I'm confused. I really don't understand, and that's why. And I don't knock the fact that it might be lawful.
It is lawful if you do it lawfully.
Exactly, but these guys, and then the reasonings that I've gotten from brothers with, multiple wives, and hey man, if that's how y'all get out over there, the house of Ariel is a single woman house, and I'm good with that. I don't need 2 wives, twice the problems and twice the expense, and I need the one I got. And when I say I need her, I need her. That's my thing, man. I mean, I love my wife. She loved me. We've been together for 28 years married, and I'm the husband of one wife. I could be a bishop, but I might be a striker. Y'all don't know, see now. But
we better get back in the word.
Yeah, but
I'm revealing too many things.
My thing is that the fact that it can be done with one woman, but if you're doing it with multiple women, how is the love disseminated? Is it like a group love, or what is it? I really don't understand it. If it works for you, have at it, you dig? But treat the women like they're special, because women are delicate creatures. They are very special, and they're emotional creatures. You have to make your woman or your wife feel like she's wanted and needed and desired. You have to treat her like a woman. You don't have to make me feel like that, because I already know I'm good, and it's my job to be the best me for her that I can be. But guess what her job is? To be the best her for me that she can be. And as long as that's reciprocated, we'll get along just fine. That's why once I found the one, we worked through some rough times, believe that. But anything worth having is worth working for and fighting for. You understand? Because I could have wrote her a letter or scribbled some stuff on toilet paper, weaved through, but then it's off to try to find the next one. I ain't got all that time, man. I poured my heart into my relationship, and I raised my daughters, and they're beautiful young women off doing life. They ain't in my house no more. So we did our job, and now it's our time. And it ain't like, I don't know, man. That's just me as a person and how I get down. But I don't know. I can't spread the love. It's only one me. You dig? And she can't come on talking about I met Bruce Leroy and I need him too and you. No, we ain't gonna do that. Right. But y'all say these women try to do that now, the polygyny or whatever. And it's crazy, man. It's craziness to me. We ain't trying to build no nation or no army or nothing. Not in the land of our captivity, are we? We ain't where we need to be. That's just me. My personal thoughts, and now I'll get off of my soapbox.
Okay. What else say with Jeremiah 6?
Yes, so you want to start over?
Actually, we can just do 2 and well, 2 is all I want, and then we hit this Sirach 15, and then Sirach 24 and 25. I just want that Jeremiah chapter 2 verse, chapter 6 verse 2, and then we'll jump over to Sirach 15, 1 through 6. 1 through 7.
All right, Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2. All right, Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
And then you also see in Ezekiel 16, where he cleansed Israel, saw her like a woman, washed her, betrothed her, and married her. You see in Jeremiah 3:14, I am married unto you, and we have played the harlot. We've been adulterous against our Elohim. Okay? Now let's go to this Sirach chapter 15. Because see, these polygamists also say that, he married to 2 different girls, Israel and Judah.
Need my boy need some help outside. Get some brothers and get some help outside too.
Yeah.
We got any questions thus far?
No, but Jacob said something on here that we had touched on, the fact that they done killed Hank Aaron with that Wuhan shot.
Yeah, I told him, man, he got that vaccine, man, and then, because he wanted to be a poster boy for all Negroes to get it, because you've been a poster boy for integration into sports. Now you want to be a poster boy for Negroes get the Tuskegee experiment, and you lost your rabbit mind. You too old for that foolishness.
They say he didn't make it to the second shot.
No. Boy, that's terrible. Man, it is what it is, man. Don't be no guinea pig.
No, man.
Boy, how are you at that age?
And then you got
It's just baffling, man, that after 400 years, we still can't see the writing on the wall.
Right.
But you got these Hebrews that's talking about take the shot. Man, are you cats, what are you on?
Did you know there were Hebrews that were truly supportive of Trump?
Yeah.
Who believe Trump did more for black folks than anybody, any president? These are Israelites who will go to war against you for saying anything otherwise. Whew.
2/3, my brothers, 2/3.
Woo. Woo.
Yes.
Okay, Sirach chapter 15, verse 1. We already did. Okay, Sirach 15 and 1.
All right, Sirach chapter 15, verse 1.
And read down to 8, bro.
It says, he that feareth the Lord will do good, and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her. And as a mother shall she meet him, and receive him as a wife married of a virgin.
So the Most High said wisdom is compared to, it's like a mother and a virgin wife. Delicate. So when you see and people say, oh, well, is wisdom a woman? And it's compared, you should accept her and seek her out like a beautiful woman. Like a man, Shabbat Shalom, Papa. You should seek her out and try to betroth her unto you and keep her close to you, to your bosom, and be ravished with her love. Like in Proverbs 5 say, to love her like a woman and be always ravished with her love. Wisdom is like a woman, delicate. And then he said married, a virgin married, not defiled.
Right.
Not passed around.
Right.
Not from house to house, bed to bed, sheet to sheet.
Right.
No, she's undefiled, without blemish, without wrinkle, without spot. She was created in the beginning. And she was placed upon all the righteous creations of the Most High. And His Holy. Tuba, you looking doubtful. What's wrong?
Oh, I'm trying to get the book up, that's all.
Oh, it was like somebody saying something, boy, that's throwing you left field, boy. Your continents changed, boy. Like, what manner of
Wickedness is this?
No, I'm just trying to get this rock up, I got it.
like, boy, what manner of conversation is going on in the chat? Cause Tuba, like,
Shabbat shalom, Imam.
yes, ma'am. Okay, so yeah,
I agree with you. We don't like messages on toilet paper. Please go. Thank you.
See what it is they got their own version of marriage. I was just tripping off this the other day, right? When you talk to certain brothers that believe in like polygamy, right? They'll tell you can do it however you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you choose to stack all your women up in one house, do it. If you choose to, do it like this, do it. But
where's that
when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, what they doing is they removing the law, because anything that the Most High allow you to do, it always come with rules and instructions.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you dreaming, these are the rules for dreaming. These are the instructions.
Exactly.
Anything you do. So when they removing the instructions on if a man take another wife, he shall do X, Y, and Z, and they tell you ain't got to do that. You can do it any way you want. When you get down to it, that's do what thou wilt.
Yeah.
That's do whatever the hell you want to do.
and the Most High said he don't give you no license to sin. Sirach 15:20.
None. That's rebellion. That's rebellion, because you taking out the law. You totally disregarding the law. That's rebellion, and rebellion is, and witchcraft is as the sin of rebellion, ain't it?
Exactly.
That's witchcraft.
1 Samuel 15:22 and 23.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is. So read on out that 15 through to 9.
We in verse 3. So Sirach chapter 15, verse 3. With the bread of understanding shall she feed him, and give him the water of wisdom to drink.
This is why wisdom is compared to a mother or a woman, a female, a woman, a mother or a chaste virgin married. Without spot, she provides for you, she nurtures you, she gives you understanding of which way to go and which way not to go. Who to be around, who to have in your company. What to bring around your women and your wife and children. And if you have multiple wives doing it righteously, what to bring around them. Read on.
Verse 4. He shall be stayed upon her, and shall not be moved, and shall rely upon her, and shall not be confounded.
Like a baby relies upon his mother, nurturing.
And that's often how it compares to wisdom, being children of wisdom. Verse 5. She shall exalt him above his neighbors, and in the midst of the congregation shall she open his mouth. He shall find joy in a crown of gladness, and she shall cause him to inherit an everlasting name.
Like Elihu amongst the fellows that were giving poor advice and counsel to Job. The youngest of all of them, he held his peace until it was a righteous time for him to speak and give righteous counsel. And his name is still remembered because of his righteous counsel. Read on.
Verse 7. But foolish men shall not attain unto her, and sinners shall not see her. For she is far from pride, and men that are liars cannot remember her.
Men that are not liars cannot remember her. Let's turn to this.
You wanted 9, I didn't.
Yeah, before we go to 9, jump to this chapter 25.
It's
We only got one more verse, though.
Fine.
One more verse.
Oh.
Verse 9.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about chapter 9.
No, verse
my bag, bro. Yeah, let's hit that 9. So hit that 9.
Verse 9. Praise is not seemly in the mouth of a sinner, for it was not sent him of the Lord.
That's good. No. Jump over this Sirach 25, because we're gonna have to get in our case studies about these horrible Negroes that's leading our sisters, and but how they're both gonna be punished. We gotta show the examples of how Hamashiach extended love and appreciation and patience unto the sisters, not only the sisters of our nation, but the sisters of other nations. So who are we to have this kind of mindset towards sisters? But you have to also understand there are sisters who, I don't want to say deserve it, but some people bring foulness upon themselves. You reap what you sow.
Right.
Galatians 6 tells us that you reap what you sow. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. And sisters reap foolishness unto themselves, because there's some women that love drama, love clowning. Like I was telling brothers before we started class, you know, man, when we came up, to call a sister out of her name a B word or a whore or anything was the most dishonorable thing, disrespectful thing you can extend to a sister, and she would turn around and check you, regardless of her stature, her size, whatever. She would check you because that was a no-go. Sisters had a little more decency and respect for themselves.
Exactly.
They may have been poor, but they weren't gonna let you stoop to that level and disrespect them. You had a fight on your hand. Yeah, bro.
Indiana Cole in the chat asks, Shalom, and one love, Zion. I have a question. Can you please show me in the Bible where it says that Job is from the bloodline of Esau?
It's not in the 66 books, it's in the Testament of Job and the Pseudepigrapha. But look up his bloodline, just research everything. We're in Google age, we're in the information age. Google it, research it. It is in the Pseudepigrapha in the Testament of Job, and he gives you his bloodline. And his in the bloodline of Esau is documented as his name is Joab, but it's the same Job, because different places your name may be called something different. Okay, but he's of the bloodline of Esau. It won't mention it, and that's why a lot of these other books, or like Jasher and some of the lost books and things of this nature, Enoch, they go into very vivid detail about some of the things that are just kind of ambiguous in the 66 books. Whereas the 66 books give you a synopsis of things, whereas a lot of these other books go into day-by-day detail. Names, times, and things of this nature.
They fill in the blanks.
They fill in the blanks. They fill in all the blanks and give you a complete understanding. But some things you won't find verbatim in the scriptures. It won't speak it in our language that we may commonly speak amongst each other. So some things you have to it requires research. That's why no man can say, I read the Bible 2-3 times. Well, did you read it with understanding? That's why I say it's a minimum of 70 years of understanding to know the scriptures to and fro. We're still scraping the surface. We're still researching this and finding. Things that we thought we knew 20 years ago has a whole different meaning today. Like once upon a time we thought the heritage of a speckled bird was meaning my heritage ranged from blue, black to high yellow. No, that ain't have nothing to do with that. So that's growing in the word. That's growing. Maturing. Okay. Is that all right for the sister?
Mm-hmm.
I do have that book. I don't have it with me today.
Jacob gave it to her.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave it to her.
Jacob and God's word tonight. Come on through. Said thank you.
All praises.
All praises.
Get some understanding.
Where we were going?
25.
Sirach 25. I want you to see what the Most High say He loves, that He likes. Start at verse 1, and then go down to 11.
Sirach chapter 25, verse 1. In 3 things I was, how you pronounce that? Beautified?
Beautified.
Beautified. and stood up beautiful both before Yahweh and men. The unity of brethren.
The assembly of the brethren on one accord, one mind, one love.
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful thing. When we get together, ain't it love? Man, we hate even parting ways. Man, we like, boy, well, I could do this forever. Well, this is a practice run, y'all. Let's practice. Let's continue in this practice of loving the brethren so we get it right and be prepared for 1,000 years of this love. Read on.
The love of neighbors. A man and a wife that agree together.
Oh, he said these are beautiful things. A man and a wife that agree together, one mind. That's what he says. No longer shall you be twain, but one flesh, because you agree together. You are one mind, one sound flesh in Hamashiach. So who are we to bash in our sisters? Come on.
Verse 2. 3 sorts of men my soul hated.
3 sorts of men my soul hateth. Come on with it.
And I'm greatly offended at their life.
He said he's greatly offended at their life. Because they have seared their ways in their conscience. They don't want to change. It is what it is, nigga. I'm the man.
My way or the highway.
Read on.
A poor man that is proud. A rich man that is a liar. And an old adulterer that doted.
An old adulterer that doted. You just going from house to house, bed to bed. You just gone. You just out of control. Lust and lasciviousness has taken over you. You can't control yourself. Boy, like Daniel said, look at that pole, put a skirt on that pole, and he'd be lusting after it.
He'd be looking under the skirt.
Just foolishness.
You know what? That's funny, man, because I was on the Facebook yesterday, and I saw, somebody who I went to high school with, because my name isn't my government name on there. Right. And I said, let me see what's up with this bruh. And I went to his page. I guess they called it Facebook creeping or something. My daughters told me. But anyway, I'm like, let me see what's up with. And I was looking at a few of the things that he had written in there and his messages and stuff. And first off, I thought the brother could spell, but he couldn't spell. He spelled heart, H-A-R-T. And I was like, man, we graduated together. I can get out of there. But then
they just passed him along, brother. Like, just get
him out of here.
Get out of here. You taking up space. That nigga probably 20 years older than you too.
He had written in there something about just got the results of my AIDS test back and I'm still good. I suggest everybody get tested if you married or not. And I'm like, damn, that's the old man that doted. That's what put me in the mind. Because if you ain't settled down with somebody by now, don't keep hopping from bed to bed because you don't went and got an AIDS test, nigga, you good today, but what about tomorrow?
Exactly.
And when it come back and then come back and say that you are positive, then you got 2 or 3 or 4 different women. You like, who gave me this and who did I give it to? So I mean, you gotta learn lessons in life, man. You can't be just doing what you used to do nowadays.
Well, people ain't trying to put on a new man.
See, that's the thing.
A lot of people like Micah 2:6 says, many ain't gonna come into the truth because they don't want to be shamed out of their habits, their bad habits.
Yeah.
They don't want that shame. So it's easier to just go on with the flow. Man, God know my heart. Yeah, desperately wicked above all things.
Above all things.
So,
and then just like you say, even just to have to go and get tested on a regular basis, why you having unprotected sex, man? Because if it come back bad, then it's all bad. I can't understand it, but it's not for me to understand.
No.
And I constantly think about 2/3, 2/3. And then it's just gonna be a remnant of the last third. Not that whole third ain't getting in.
No.
It's gonna be a remnant.
Of that.
That's why you gotta be on your best behavior all the time.
Because any time could be checkout time.
That's right. And you don't wanna get caught up in your sins.
Any
Oh,
time
my
could be
goodness.
checkout time. And no man guaranteed the next 5 seconds.
And that's the thing too, is by us being who we are, and that's to everybody who sees us, you guys included, they are waiting on y'all to slip and be like, see, there you go, nigga. You ain't special. No, I'm not special, but I'm set apart. So and I tell people freely, I'm a commandment keeper. I keep all of them to the best of my ability. You understand? But you know, if you leave your money out, you come back around me, your money's still intact. Your wife ain't been hollered at. I ain't trying to get in your car with my key. You know, it's just all kind of stuff. You know, you gotta be a commandment keeper, man. That's all. Go ahead, I don't mean to be.
No, you good, bro. I mean, because sometimes these examples, you know, correspond with other people who understand and see it for what it is, man, and they have a clear understanding. So, you know, no, it's all good.
That's greater than, you can skip scripts to people, but then it don't mean nothing.
Right.
But it's about being an example.
Exactly.
You can bring an example of understanding. That's why a lot of comedians be so funny, because a lot of things they talk about, you've experienced. That's why it's so doggone funny, because you know that experience. You like, boy, I went through, boy, that's hilarious, because I know that. You know?
You know, that's how people be watching you, especially if you come out and tell them, hey, I'm set apart.
Right.
I'm into this truth. They sit there and you never know when they just straight paying attention to you, seeing how you gonna respond to this.
They watching.
Is you gonna wilt under pressure?
Right.
And when temptation come your way.
Right.
They paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Like at the plantation, me and this brother in conversation. Now I don't go out on breaks to smoke with nobody. I go in break room, eat my sandwich, and you know, whatever I do. You know what I'm saying? But white boy come to me, you know, me and this brother talking, and supervisor come over. He said, "Hey William, you're Jewish, right?" I said, "No, I ain't Jewish. I'm a Jew." Yeah. But I had never said anything about, I don't go out professing nothing, but it lets me know he's paying attention. He watching me. He watching what I'm doing. He watching what I'm reading. He watching me. He's taking notice that there's something different about you niggas than them other niggas.
You ain't no regular nigga.
Something different about you niggas. Now, mind you, me and this other brother talking, we in a conversation. But he comes to me and say, "William, you're Jewish, right?" Where the hell that come from? "No, I ain't Jewish. I'm a Jew." I said, "Jewish is to be like. I am. I ain't a like." He like, "Oh, well, yeah, that's what I mean." Yeah. But it let me know, watching, there's something different about you and them. Y'all look alike, but y'all two totally different types.
Right.
Two totally different types.
Man, you know, I was down at the Price Chopper, putting in work, you know, talking to some Hebrews down there. And then this one sister, she was like, "Well, yeah, all that sounds good. Could you come by?" I think they was having a cookout, or they was selling fish plates. And I say, "Yeah, sis, I'll swing by there. I'd love to talk to you and your family some more about the script." I say, "Y'all selling dinner?" She like, "Yeah, you gonna buy one?" I said, "What kind of fish is it?" She was like, catfish nuggets. And I was like, "No, sis, I can't eat that. The Bible tells me to, you know, go by this dietary law." She said, "Do you do everything the Bible say?" I said, "I try to." you know, I'm gonna just tell me, forget what the Bible say, eat you some of this, girl, you better get out of here.
All right, let's get out of this, because we got several little case studies we want to get through and show these important things.
How far down in that 21 is Sirach?
You can jump down from, you jump down to
3?
verse,
3 and 3.
That's what I'm saying.
jump down to verse 7, 8, 9. Actually, man, you can read this because it goes off into the wickedness of a woman and everything. You can just finish that on off, and then we're gonna jump into one of our case studies, which is Hosea 4 and Isaiah 3 and Jeremiah 44. I want to get those in before I jump to these examples of Christ extending his love and appreciation to the sisters, and how, you know, we'll see in Romans 16, we'll see also in Luke 7, sisters gathered who followed the Most High. We'll see how the Messiah respected his mother. So we're going to put to sleep all this foolishness about how we are to treat and deal with our women and our sisters and our kotis, our imams. What's the 5th commandment? The mama is in there. Mosiah said, boy, we'll see in Sirach where he says you'll bring a curse upon yourself by dishonoring your mother. Talking crazy to your mother. Let's finish that on off, bro.
You want me to jump down to 7, you said?
Yeah, jump down to 7.
All right, Sirach 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Verse 8. Well is him that dwelleth with a wife of understanding, and that hath not slipped with his tongue, and that hath not served a man more unworthy than himself.
So, and you got Negroes. There's a story of a Negro Israelite brother who took the plate out of his own wife's hand and gave it to his brother that was coming over just to hang out.
Sound like some draws switching to me.
What manner of Negro would do such a thing?
Yeah,
Snatch his wife's plate that she's about to enjoy and give it to his boy and say, you need to fend for yourself now. Because I'm extending love and hospitality to. No, you a knucklehead. You foolish. Now that's why now to this day he has no authority in his own house. They use and abuse him and his house to whatever pleasures they seek is fit for them.
that brother?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Foolishness. Read on, bro. He said this is a happy thing that a man dwelling with his wife and they have understanding. Why? Because they are dwelling together under the guidance of the Most High and His begotten Son, under law, statutes, and judgments, righteousness. It's a beautiful thing. This is the harmonious marriage that the Christ was speaking of. Love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave him his life for it.
The only time a mathematical equation of 1 + 1 equals 1.
Yes.
Yep.
Because he said this is a great mystery. How does 2 become 1? That's a great mystery. Because with your eyes you're seeing 2. But see, you're not seeing with the Spirit. See, they're joined by the Spirit and become one.
You see her, you see him, and you
Exactly. Because she's a representation of him. That's why in Hamashiach he said, man was created in my image. He made them both male and female. Created he them in his image. Not just the man, but the woman is also created in his image.
And his likeness.
And his likeness. And she bring forth what? Life.
That's right. Very important in the whole scheme of things. What would you be without a woman? You know, how would you?
You wouldn't exist.
You'd be just like
I mean,
that.
even though Christ can raise up children unto the stones, but he created a natural order of things.
Yeah. And women are just soft, tender, delicate creatures. And they have to be treated differently than men. And if men treating their women like they partners, I don't want no hard woman. No woman that we in the bench pressing and we spitting together and passing the drink and take it to the head, baby. No, man. Oh, she hawking up and spitting like, come on, baby, no.
That's a challenge in your masculinity.
Yeah,
boy, she go harder than you.
She go in the bathroom, you look, she's standing up. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what is this? I thought there was a banana in your purse.
Oh, man. Boy, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Come on, man. Let's finish this out, bro. Boy. There ain't no good visuals.
Yes, you ain't kidding, boy. Come on in here, baby.
Verse 9. Well is him that hath found prudence, and he that speaketh in the ears of them that will hear. Oh, how great is he that findeth wisdom, yet is there none above him that feareth the Lord. But the love of the Lord passeth all things for illumination. He that holdeth it, whereto shall he be likened. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him.
So you gotta have love, which is obeying the commandments, and faith. Faith without works is what?
Dead.
You have to have them both.
That's right.
The works is the commandments, doing them. With faith in Hamashiach, that by being obedient, you will be granted the promises afforded to our forefathers, which is everlasting life and salvation in the kingdom. Read on.
Verse 13.
Yes, sir.
Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, and any affliction but the affliction of them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of enemies. There is no head above the head of the serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with the wicked woman.
That's in the book of Proverbs. Better to dwell in the corner of a rooftop than
Right.
in a broad open space with a brawling woman. You have no peace. Think about Ahab and Jezebel. Read on.
Verse 17. The wickedness of a woman changes her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth.
Have you ever seen a sister that was beautiful in the face, but her attitude make her look wicked and nasty and ugly as hell? When she spewed out her mouth and the way she carried herself, you like, oh, she foul as hell.
Right.
Oh, man.
Then she turned and spit. That's it. There's something about a woman hawking and spitting. Man, I just can't take that, man.
She ought to have on bibs and stuff.
Right,
Some
girl.
overalls. All right.
Roll the quarters in your pocket and you happy to see.
Verse 18. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it shall sigh bitterly.
Yeah, because he like, man, I hope my homies don't see how foul and wicked and out of order my wife is. You know, because your boys may not say nothing, but they have that look on their face like, dog. You know, they look at you
Talking behind your back.
you know, like, wow, what is up? Read on, bro.
Verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her.
So he said, hey, her wickedness, let the portion of a sinner. She's breaking law. Let the portion and the punishments of a sinner fall upon her. She's guilty.
Right.
Read on.
As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged.
Like an old man climbing up a sandy hill.
Slide
Imagine that. He's sliding, he's boy out of breath, about to have a heart attack. And read on.
So is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
Right. Mad because the nigga won't get no job. See, that's what it is. She paying all the bills, he playing PlayStation.
Yeah, eventually that's gonna wear out. She's
Right.
like, no, this is the wrong way it goes.
This is not right.
I ain't supposed to be taking care of you. You supposed to be taking care of me. Now, it's one thing that she provides because he's at a point of his down point.
Right.
And so she's holding, the
Holding
weight.
it down.
She's holding it down. But not forever. You ain't supposed to become comfortable and lazy and slothful.
Been out of job so long you forgot what you do.
Yeah.
Boy, you know what I mean? No, and then you talking crazy to her.
Yeah.
She coming home, she paying all the bills, she feeding the children, doing everything. You sitting on your butt, smoking blunts, hollering at your boy, turning up bottles, and then you want to talk crazy to her. Like, because she's my possession.
Right, my property.
That's my property. That's my wife. She's supposed to, I'm her law.
Yeah, it's her job to take care of me. No.
Negro, you out of control.
Give me some more of that Captain.
Hold that real quick and we're gonna come back to it to finish it out. Hit that Exodus 21 and 10 real quick, what the law say about this wife, and then after we finish this 25, we gotta jump into this Hosea 4, Jeremiah 44, and that Isaiah 3. What I say, Exodus 21 and 10. What does the law say about this? This is a dude. This is a dude.
Any more milk? My cereal kind of dry. Get it for me.
That sound kind of pepperlicious.
Right. Let's see, Exodus 21 and what up?
10.
10. Write that down. All right, the book of Exodus, chapter 21 and verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money.
And so she don't have to stay there and take that. She don't have to stay there. Give me that first 10, 5, and 8 real quick, and then we hit back into this. She ain't gotta stay there and take that. Cause see, he's supposed to. What does husband mean? To govern over the well-being of the woman. It doesn't say be her master and beat her and bring her into surrender. See, that's what they doing. They beating women into surrender, not submission. Submission is free will. Submission says that, we gonna see that in the book of Ruth, where she was submissive. She wanted to be the wife of a good man, a law-abiding man. And she submitted herself as a willing wife. And she was thinking about the inheritance and the good name of her husband who died. She wasn't just thinking on behalf of herself. She was trying to honor the name of her dead husband, that his name will be remembered in Israel. That's love. She ain't thinking about herself.
First 10, what?
5.
And 1?
That's what you want? I was needing 8.
You just need 8?
Yeah, just need 8.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5 and verse 8.
You know what? No, start at 5 and 1 and go down to 8.
That's what I was going to do. The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 5, we'll start our reading in verse 1. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father, and the younger men as brethren, the elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity.
Uh-oh, we got a problem, Israel. These Negroes are saying this foolishness, but what does the script say? Entreat them, the elder sisters, our imams, as mothers, the youngers as sisters, with all purity. It's the sisters that's in the faith and that's in the walk that they dogging out. It's not the ones that's prostituting their bodies and clowning out there. It's the sisters that they bringing knowledge to. They're supposed to be bringing upon knowledge and wisdom and understanding to, that they turning out and then label them as dragons and wicked beasts of the field.
Because they looking at them with lustful eyes and not eyes
Because
of
why?
family.
Because we're going to find out according to Exodus 21 and 10, and this first 10, 5 and 8, we're going to see what the real reason is. No lack of responsibilities. Niggas don't want no responsibilities. Niggas ain't never had no responsibilities. You'll find, just check his jacket. This ain't no new habit that he's taken up. If it's habitual, he's done it before.
Right.
Check his jacket. Try the spirit. Check his jacket. Look at how he treat his mom. Look at how he treat his sisters. Look at how he treat the women around him. Check his jacket. He telling you what he about. But you thinking to self, ooh, he gonna be good to me. No, the nigga ain't gonna be good to you. The nigga got a track record of hating women.
That's what he do.
Check it.
Some women like men in that role.
Yeah,
Exactly,
see?
and we gonna read about that, brother. That's why we gotta get to these case studies, that Hosea 4, that Jeremiah 44, Isaiah. We gotta check it. We gotta see that there's women, Ezekiel 13, the witchcraft of these sisters that's hunting souls with their witchcraft and divinations and rubbing the crystals and things of this nature. Proverbs 7. Come on, bro.
Verse 3. Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home and to requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before
See
Yah.
what's acceptable before Yahweh? All this stuff is in righteousness, man, and he has specific instructions for our sisters and how to deal with them. He said, man, deal with them like they your mama and your sisters, man. Show them love, brother. Extend love to these sisters, man, because at some point they gonna bring forth another seed in Israel if they've been blessed in the womb. Don't you know that kind of trauma, mental trauma, spiritual trauma translate to the child in her womb?
Yep.
And that baby come out crazy as hell because it's already traumatized? Read on, bro.
Verse 5. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate trusteth in Yah.
So who the hell is you to say that a woman need to have a covering? She better have her a covering, or she going to the lake of fire. She better get under a man's roof. They don't give a doggone about our sisters, man. They don't care if the Negro is out of control or what. He might be a striker, liar, adulterer, fornicator, everything in the book, and you say it don't matter as long as she got a covering. A bad covering? A wicked covering?
Right.
Really? That's what you're gonna promote? Read on, bro.
And continueth in supplications and prayers night and day. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
What? Read that again.
She that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And these things give in charge, that they may be blameless.
What did we read in Josephus? He said they need to have the understanding of the law just like anybody. So they can't say, hey, I didn't know it was sins of ignorance. I didn't know. I couldn't do that. I didn't know I was supposed to behave like, I didn't know. No, you knew. It's there. It's written. Now, you rejected it, that's on you. That's a whole nother story. But for you to say, I didn't know, no, you can't play that one. You can't say that.
Let's see what's going on with the ones that be like, you know, I really want to hear it so bad, even though he, you know,
These are silly women,
they be
tossed to and fro with diverse lusts.
Laden with
See, they don't want really order. They just want to have the name. They just want to say that reproach ain't on me. But he can do whatever he want, and I can do whatever I want. I just want to prove to my mama, I ain't gonna be no hoe all my life. I told you somebody was gonna marry me. Even though I got these 5 babies with 5 baby daddies. I tried it before, but I told you I wasn't gonna be no hoe all my life. Somebody was gonna love me.
I'm already 28.
Somebody was gonna wear a cape.
Oh boy.
Captain Save a hoe.
follow Hamashiach, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I say it's like they just forget to follow Hamashiach.
They are not about Hamashiach. That's what you have to understand, brother. People show you what they're about. You have to pay attention to the conversations, the actions. You have to peep game.
Right.
Some people enter into relationships like the homosexuals. I'm in this relationship just to get myself out the cold. When it get warm again, I'm up.
Yep.
Just like when you watch their actions, just listen to them when they talk. Every time they talk, you just sit there and listen. They have a habit of telling them.
They gonna do it all the time, brother. It never fails, cause it's habit.
But see,
They can't stop themselves. They think, the thing is, I hope you don't catch it.
Right. But Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, pay attention to it.
Yeah, they ain't lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you get duped, at the end you start sitting back and it starts playing back, and you like, I saw it back then and I ain't even trip off of it. Golly.
Yep.
They start showing you a pattern and you just let it go right by. Maybe it ain't what I'm thinking. No, it's what you thinking.
Right.
That first line.
Verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel.
Worse than an infidel. Because the law said if you take unto another wife, her food, her raiment, and everything that keeps her alive, you should provide.
That's right.
Why'd you take her from her father's house then? Where she had everything she needed. And you gonna bring out, that's like saying Christ brought us from Egypt to kill us in the wilderness. He's providing for us. That's what Ezekiel 16 is about. I took you from your bad state and nurtured you and watered you and cleansed you up and betrothed you to be my wife, and I nurtured you and took care of you from that day forward. That's what that's about. Let's get back to this
Sirach 25.
Sirach 25. Finish that out, then we're going to jump into Hosea 4.
Sirach 25 verse 23.
Also notice this. Yes, ma'am. Also notice this. In the book of Numbers, for women are no good and not to be compared or on a level of a man. Why is a woman able to be a Nazarite? Numbers chapter 6, verse 2. If a woman vow the vow of a Nazarite. If a woman vow the vow of a Nazarite. Don't just say man. It say if a man or a woman vow the vow of Nazarite. Woman couldn't be no priest. However, we had prophetess. Women prophets. I'm going to give you a list of them. I got them all written down. I'm going to give you a list of them. Go look them up. Since Negroes say the women has no value and no use other than being on her back or in the kitchen. Well, we're going to see. I think the scriptures prove otherwise. And then we're going to see what the nature, the truth behind marriage is. And how the Most High say he hate putting away. He hate divorce. He didn't divorce us. But you niggas quick to get rid of your wives, who you say are your wives.
Right.
At the drop of a dime. And that's the reason why it was written into the law, because of the stiff neck of Israel, men Israelites. We're going to hit that Matthew 19. All right, let's finish this out, bro.
Sirach chapter 25, verse 23.
Yes, sir.
It says, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh them heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of the woman came the beginning of singing, and through her we all die. Because
she was the first one to encounter Satan, his doctrine of fornication, adultery, and things of that nature. And then she brought that same doctrine to Adam. So she was guilty first in the sin, but we're going to see in the book of Genesis, she wasn't punished by herself.
Right.
Read on. Takes two to tangle, y'all. Thank you, Mom.
Verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go.
And let her go. If she remains to be disruptive in law, not abiding by the commands. But see, you have to be right first. You can't demand that she's right and you off the chain.
Right.
We read in the beginning of this chapter what pleases the Most High, what's happy, what's beautiful to him. A husband and a wife that's in agreement and has a common understanding of law, statutes, judgments, who are abiding in Christ together. He said that's a beautiful thing. Marriage is honorable and the bed undefiled if it's under the guidance of truth and mercy by the Hamashiach. But we'll see what unrighteous marriage, because there's a such thing as an unrighteous marriage and a defiled bed. When both of you are non-believers. That's an unrighteous marriage and a defiled bed, because ain't no telling what's going on in the bedroom. If you have not Christ, you can only imagine what kind of law breaking is going on in that bedroom and what kind of thoughts are permeating through those sheets. But the scripts say these are the causes to give a woman a divorce. When she's out of control, she don't want to abide by the law, statutes, and judgments. But see, we also have, Shabbat Shalom, brother, we also have in 1 Corinthians 7 where it says, but if she's pleased to be with you, she's not disruptive or anything, but if she's pleased to be with you, she may be won over by your chance conversation and your walk. It may take her a little more time, long suffering, long patience. Okay? Where I say we was going? Hosea 4, let's get into these study, these subject matters. Hosea 4. And you read all up through, excuse me just for a second, but you read all of other chapters of Hosea, and you'll see that he's dealing with the whoredom and adultery of Israel, the nation.
Where you want to start at in that 4, Ark?
One.
Is it you, Ezra?
I was on you.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, family, we're going to get started in the book of Hosea, chapter 4. Start our reading at around verse 1. Let's get some understanding, y'all. Hear the word of the Most High, ye children of Israel. For Yahweh hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of Yah in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beast of the field, and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive, nor reprove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priest. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy Elohim. I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways, and reward them their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough.
Oh yeah.
We are 10.
10.
They shall commit whoredom, and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Most High.
So he said, you know, the nation of Israel, which are led by the priests in which supposed to extend the knowledge and understanding and wisdom of the Most High, they've become like priests. Because in the days of Jeroboam, he started appointing any and everybody to the priesthood that wasn't found in the register. That's what Ezra had to do. He had to cleanse out the priesthood because all these old trifling, scandalous cats was in the priesthood who didn't belong. He was just setting up all his homeboys in the priesthood.
Want a job?
I got you, dog. I'm gonna make you a priest. Cats start fighting. I want to be a high priest. They doing it to this day. Clown. Until it was cleansed out. And they had to put the register back on point. And they had to appoint Levitical priests who came from the Levitical tribe. And their names were found in the register. But he says this has become a thing because of your leaders. Like in the book of Jeremiah, your leaders cause you to err. And who were the leaders? The men. This was coming from the men. Let's read on.
Verse 11. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart.
Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. Take away the heart. That's why a king couldn't be acceptable of gifts and bribes, nor the priest. But that's what started happening in Israel. That's why Christ had to come on the scene and cleanse this all out. This is out of order. Read the book of Micah, the book of Malachi. The book of Malachi is dedicated to the priests. But yet, if you don't study and show yourself approved, you think it's about the congregation not paying tithes to the priests. It's about the priests not paying tithes to the Most High. But y'all don't even peep that because you're not looking for understanding. You're looking to be led by a knucklehead. Because Isaiah says, prophesy not unto us right things, prophesy unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit.
Right.
It's easier to swallow a lie. But the truth shall make you free. It might sting, but you're going to be free. Read on, bro.
Verse 12. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declareth unto them, for the spirit of whoredoms hath caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their ell.
So now we're studying all manner of doctrine, spiritual fornication. Most High say he's married unto us, Jeremiah 3:14. But we have played the harlot. We've gone up on every green hill and under every tree played the harlot. The trees are the stalks and groves. Yeah, Tuba.
Down the court I asked, how long shall you stay in the marriage if the other one does not believe?
If the other one does not believe, well, the scripture said it doesn't give a particular time. But see, the thing is, you have to give it time, because especially if you just coming into the truth, you haven't even haven't had time to even show your walk and show that it's the truth. This is no easy fix. This is not an overnight thing. This is maturing in the walk. This may be a long time for you. Lifetime, it may be. Don't think Sarah started calling Abraham Lord immediately. We pick up on their lives well into their aged time. We don't know what they dealt with along that time to bring her to that point where she like, no, this is the righteousness. In the beginning, me and my white boy, we was at strife.
How many years y'all got now?
We 26 in. On the 27th year this year. Been together 28, which will be 29. Them first 5 years was rough. Rough, man, I tell you. My wife will tell you. I ain't no easy one to deal with, neither is she. But over time, because we understood and we came into the truth together at the beginning of our marriage.
Beautiful.
Before we were married, we came into the truth. So all our children were brought in under truth and understanding. Never tasted swine a day in their life, never celebrated a pagan day. That's a blessing.
That is.
So with understanding that, I knew, I can't check out that easy. There was one time my wife and I got into it so bad, man, I packed up my son and left. A sister told me, come on over here. I got dinner waiting for you and your son, woo, woo, woo. She was a friend, nothing involved. She was a friend, a childhood friend. She like, y'all be good over here, you need somewhere to go. Halfway there, I bust a U-turn. I ain't finna check out like that. I ain't finna do it like that. No, that's a coward way
Right.
of handling this business.
Anybody can give up.
Not only that, I got a son. And I got to be an example to him to how to treat a woman. My mother and my sister were so good to me and my brothers. My sister used to take me and my brother out on etiquette dates to teach us how to treat a woman. When we was like 7, 8 in our preteens and stuff. We hated it at the time. We're like, I ain't open no door for you. I ain't doing nothing. Boy, she's our big sister. No, I'll leave y'all little badass here. But I appreciate that now as a man because I understood and I had an appreciation for women that came into my life. Yeah, there was some I mistreated, but I didn't dog them to the point of how these Negroes dog women. I just didn't do probably the right thing with some of them.
All the time.
But I'm gonna tell you something. There came a time in my adulthood that I thought back on the ones that I mistreated and felt bad about. And repented in my heart to my Elohim about what I did to them sisters because they didn't deserve it because they were good sisters to me. You understand? My mom was a good woman. My sister is a good woman. And I appreciate them. Now, we may not agree on things, a lot of things. However, that always will be my big sister. And she will always get the respect afforded to her. Respect the persons? No. But I ain't gonna treat her like dog either. All right.
Verse 13. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills, under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore, your daughters shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery.
Since you want to do this to me, I'm finna turn it back on you. See what your daughters do to you and your wives do to you. Since this is how y'all want to behave with me, I'm gonna recompense it back into your own bosom. See what your daughter, see how she gonna behave herself. See how your wives gonna behave themselves. Negroes, since y'all so priestly, men, the covering, the heads. All right, this is what you want to do? Well, I got something for you, homie. Payback, recompense. Shabbat shalom, sister.
Verse 14.
Check it out. Read on, brother.
I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore, the people that doth not understand shall fall.
You know who we calling the whores? The men.
Yep.
He said, I ain't gonna punish your daughters and your wives for doing the wickedness they doing. You told it to them. They married to a hoe. You Negroes the hoes. You want to call the sister the dragon? You want to call the imams the dragon? You want to call them worthless? No, it's you worthless first. They learned it from you. That's why he said, I ain't gonna punish them. I ain't gonna punish you. It ain't on them, it's on you. They had, you taught them this bad behavior. So deal with it. When it come up into your house, deal with it. It's just like when you get paid back double when your children come up doing that foul that you was doing to your parents, and you get a double dose of it. Because I'm sure getting a double dose of mine. He gonna turn it back on you. Most High said, I'll recompense. Oh, you want to play that game? I got you. I got you. Show you right. Yeah, we finna play, but I play it better.
Right.
Read on.
Verse 15. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Bethaven, nor swear the Most High liveth.
Because this is what we doing today. We'll say that the Most High, this is in the scripture. that she better have a head, she better have a covering, or she going to the lake of fire. This is law. She got to do this, she got to do that. This is law. The Lord liveth, the Lord said. Gilgal and Bethaven were centers for idolatry worship. That's why he said, Judah, go not up. Don't follow the ways of Israel. They have joined themselves to idols. Ephraim is joined to idols. Leave them alone. Don't follow that foolishness. Don't follow the foolishness of these priests, so-called priests and leaders of the people who tell you to do such a vain thing. You see what Donald Trump did to his knucklehead followers? Y'all going on up to the Capitol, I'm right with you. That nigga did a U-turn on their ass. Now half of them heathens out of jobs and everything. You know it's finna blow up, boy. He said, I'm gonna be right with y'all. He in the White House watching it on and playing music, dancing, him and his family, they kicking it. And watching all them knuckleheads storm the Capitol, get caught, killed, all kind of stuff. Boy, that was a beautiful day. To see our enemies go berserk against each other. Finish that up, brother. Then we're gonna jump into some Jeremiah 44 and Isaiah 3. And then we're gonna hit some of these case studies where Christ, how he treated our sisters and imams and occultees, and we don't get it all. We also gonna show the beauty of marriage and how the Most High hated putting it away. So we got some things to roll through, so let's roll.
Verse 16. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Most High will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love. Give ye. The wind hath bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifice.
Shall be ashamed for all the religions we have chosen to run behind. Now you got a lot of sisters today really heavy into this crystal magic, and tarot cards, and wickedness, and all manner of craziness. Egyptology. But what kills me is I still ain't understanding and don't want to understand for real, but how y'all worship these pagan deities, but you never call out these pagan deities when your ass in trouble. Well, you find Jesus' name real quick in your Rolodex, don't you? But I never heard a Negro scream for Pharaoh, Osiris, Horus, Tammuz, Isis, Ashtaroth, Milcom, none of these pagan. Even Muslim Negroes will scream Jesus Christ in a time of trouble and not Allah. That's funny, boy. That's funny. It's really hilarious.
My thing was that they can use those crystals and everything for healing. Why they ain't up at the hospital healing the whole world?
Come on now.
No, because
Yeah,
see,
crystal big as a bone.
no, because see, that means free. That means free healing. They charge it. No, they like, no, we need some monies for this. What we doing? That lets you know. See, you better try the spirit. Is that of the Most High? He say, freely you receive, freely you give. If you receive the gift of healing, then you should free. When did the apostles or the disciples charge somebody for healing them? Remember the boy tried to give Paul and them, Peter and them some money. He like, no, dog, don't trip like that.
He say, may your money die with you.
Yeah, he said, boy, don't you for even having that thought on your heart is a foul.
Yeah, that's
I'll be just healing folks just because, just walking around healing folks.
Smacking the hell out their head.
Hey, doing what I gotta do. But just think if you really, man, if you had the gift of healing, man, you're right, I'd be at the hospitals, I'd be I just be posted up. Y'all come on to me. That's just how it be, man.
Jeremiah 44, y'all.
Man, boy, I pray for that, man.
What verse is that?
Where we going, Elijah?
Jeremiah 44.
We can start at
1.
almost, but look, we ain't got to start all the way at 1. We can start at verse. Start at 13.
13.
Hold on. Start. I'll tell you what. Do 7 through 10. I can't do that without. Yeah, you can do 7 through 10 and then jump over 13 on down to
You say you starting at 7?
start at 7. Yeah, you can.
It's
You don't
not
have to
turning.
go all the way down. You can do to 26.
7 to 26. Well, we could have done knocked off 1 through 6 by now.
Okay, man, we'll do it.
Go ahead.
Gotta hear all that.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell at Migdol and at Taphanes and at Noth and in the country of Pathros, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein. Because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense, and to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they, ye nor your fathers.
So it ain't about the burning incense, it's burning incense to other gods.
To a strange God, yes sir.
We burn incense, but we don't burn incense to strange gods and follow no pagan practices.
No.
When you get to burning, a lot of people want to burn sage in their house to get rid of, that's associated with a doctrine.
Right.
That has an association with a doctrine from West Africa.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
What witches do.
Santeria.
Voodoo?
The occult.
Could be some voodoo.
It's all mixed blend in.
Yeah.
And so what happened is when they brought it over to America, they blended in with Christianity. So it has the appearance of righteousness, but full of dead men's bones. Read on.
Verse 4. Howbeit, I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
He said, don't do this abominable thing that I hate. Read on.
But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem. And they are waste and desolate, as at this day. Now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your soul, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain.
So the Most High say everybody gonna get it that's following these practices. He don't reserve his punishment just to the woman. He said to you cutting off the man, the woman, the child, and the suckling when you engage in these foul, abominable practices. Everybody get punished. Everybody get dealt with. No respect to persons without Elohim. Read on.
Verse 8. And that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hand, burning incense unto other gods of the land of Egypt, whither ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem?
So he said that all of you guilty. But see, the wives got it from the husbands. They brought this foolishness into the house, into the nation. So the wives thought it's okay. We can do it too. But then they came competition. I can outdo them. I can be a better sorcerer. Witch. So now everybody's running amok and crazy, tossed to and fro with diverse doctrines. Casting spells. Everybody want to be Miss Rudolph. Everybody want to be Miss Rudolph. Or was the Jaffakin lady that Miss Cleo? Miss Cleo, they called her Jaffakin. She said she was Jamaican, she was Jaffakin. They took her butt to court too. Miss Cleo couldn't summon her way out of them shackles, them steel cuffs, the iron bracelets. Read on, bro.
Verse 10. They are not humble even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers.
So he said even to this day they ain't even humbled themselves, because we're dealing with the offspring of these that we read about. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Emo got that good? Oh, okay. I ain't know that.
Yeah, she got that good. She got that good. Oh yeah. Put it in the balance. Hey, that ass life. Really though. I'll call you, buddy.
We love you, Ema. We'll cap on you too now. Ain't no respect to persons around here. That just show you we love you.
Only out of love. With all purity. With all purity. Yes. Okay.
I love y'all.
Y'all see the fun and the love we have. Boy, ain't nothing like it.
Only in the loop, boy. I tell you.
And that's our mama.
Yeah.
She got the good.
Yeah.
Mama pulling it out of her purse.
Yeah, I saw that bag.
Here too, Bob. Here's a little for you. I can't give you all my stash.
Check this out.
I'll give you a little something to help you out.
Let me know how you like that.
He gonna try to cuff it real quick. No dibs. We all like dibs? He talking about no dibs. Y'all remember that? Dibs, no dibs. All right, y'all, let's get back to
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Where we at?
We're in verse 11. Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 11. Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah.
All Judah. Read.
And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their face to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there,
To study under Egyptology.
and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt.
You're going to die with that knowledge on your heart.
They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die from the least even unto the greatest.
They no respect of persons. He said you could be young and on that foolishness, I'm going to get you. You can be old on that foolishness, I'm going to get you. Read on.
By the sword and by the famine. And they shall be in execration and in astonishment and a curse and a reproach. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, so that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. For none shall return but such as escape.
The ones that escape, meaning leave off from that foolish doctrine.
Right.
Let it go. Leave it alone. Turn back unto your habitation, your heritage, which was given to you from birth. Go back to your land, your understanding, your God. Get out of Egypt. Egypt can't do nothing for you. Nothing for you. You read in Exodus 11, he said he put a difference between Egypt, the Egyptians, and the Israelites. A dog better not bark and move his tongue against the children of Israel. So that you know he puts a difference between the Israelites and the Egyptians. Read on.
Verse 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt, and Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee.
You see that? Hosea 4:6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because they reject it. Not because we don't have it, but when we receive it, we don't want it.
That's right.
How foul could you be to not to want to be the child of the Elohim, the creator of all things, heaven and earth, seen and unseen?
Isaiah 1 said the whole head is sick.
Whole head is sick, from the head to the foot.
How sick do you have
No
to be?
soundness in it.
Right. How sick do you have to be off the medicine and reject it?
Boy, he says nothing but putrefying wounds that have not been mollified. We bust our head on every doctrine, every tree, every grove, every understanding that we can come across. But we refuse to cling to the Most High and His Holy Begotten Son, who's given us life and take it to the way.
He really is confused though. I told our yesterday, I say all praise to the Most High and His only begotten Son. He was like, oh yeah, I'm with that man. And he pointed to his neck. And he was like, yeah, I got this ump. And he didn't even have it on his side, he had it on the other side.
That's how confused he is.
But he was like, yeah, man, I got this ump.
Where is it? It's over here somewhere. It's on.
Like, no, but he didn't even say the ump. He was like, I got this right here on my neck. And I was like, oh, you got the ump, but it's on the other side. And I was like, that don't got nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, the God of heaven and earth. And he was like, what you mean? And I was like, look, just watch this video, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know, take my number down and we're gonna rap on it, you know what I'm saying? And all praise to the Most High, I was able to send him the video. I ain't got back with that brother, but
Try to follow up with him and see where he at. See if he accept or reject it. If he reject it, shake the dust off your feet and keep it moving. Don't waste your time spinning your wheels with somebody that don't want it. So like a guy at the plantation, he's asking me fervently every day, bro, I'm giving them scriptures. I said, read these, read this, read that. But now his cousin has started working there with us. He ain't asking no question. I ain't seeking them out.
Right, he got company. Now he
I ain't seeking them out. But I told him on Jump Street, do you really want to know this? I said, because once you ask me and I give you an answer, you held accountable. And you are to follow what's given unto you. Now, you rejected, that's on you, brother. But you cannot say, I didn't know. I say, so now you held accountable. Do you really want to know the answer to this? I said, because from this point forward, you are held accountable. So whether it's on you, the parable of the sower, what you gonna do with it? I gave you the seed, what you gonna do with it? That's on you. You want some water? I got water. You need soil? I got that too, homie. But I ain't gonna just bring it to you and you don't want it. I don't cast my pearls before swine. I ain't gonna waste my time. I ain't gonna waste my time and then start spinning my wheels and then get frustrated for what? What am I vex my own spirit for? And you don't want it. I'm good. I get somebody else that want it. And then if nobody else want it, then so be it.
It's your job to plant the seed. The Most High will give the increase.
He will give the increase, bro. But just follow up and see where you at. You know, with old boy, I see him every day at the plantation. He's not reaching out anymore. So I guess he got what he needed. That sufficed him for that moment. If he asks a question, I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give him the answer. But I ain't gonna dedicate time to you and your foolishness. That I won't do. I ain't entertaining foolishness. Read on, bro.
Verse 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth.
So that's that do as thou wilt. We gonna enjoy ourselves. This is our life. We do what we want to do.
Sound just like the chicks that was up under my post on Facebook. Like, look, we ain't trying to hear what the Lord got to say. We're gonna continue to do what we've been doing.
Because see, they don't believe that there's something coming after. There's no faith. They think once you die, it's over. I ain't got nothing to answer for. I did my thing. I lived my best life.
And then the thing is, they be so sottish, and they understand that they'll quote the Bible, but then diss it in the same breath. You know what I'm saying?
So you're not even fully persuaded in what
What did you believe? You know what I'm saying? They quote things like, "Oh well, I asked the girl, so what is the rules to what you believe?" Oh, it ain't no rules. Okay, well, what about if I choose to do what's wrong, or if I choose to do what's right? Oh, there really ain't no punishment. It's just you reap what you sow. I'm like, really?
No, you asked something. Is there a reward for doing good, or is there? She said, no. You reap what you sow. You do something bad, but as far as doing good, ain't no reward. But you get punished for doing something wrong, but there's no reward for being good.
So I asked her, so what? I mean, so what do you choose to do? She was like, oh, well, I choose to do good. And I'm like, well, why do you choose to do good? Why don't you choose to do both whenever it benefits you? If that's the case, oh, well, it just ain't going on in my house. I'm like, girl, look, you sound silly. You sound silly. You know what I'm saying? You dissing the Bible, but yeah, you quoting it.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense.
Batman don't even talk that crazy.
Right.
Remember how Batman talk crazy? It's him and Robin jumping Jawillikers. What the hell is a Jawilliker?
Verse 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil.
So the women like, no, we're going to do what the men been doing. Because once they brought this knowledge unto us, we've been doing good. We eat good, we got clothes, we club, and it's all good. We living our best life.
See, and that's the thing, they get caught up in stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You think you're doing a little good, you know what I'm saying? You got a little extra money, you know what I'm saying?
Good job.
Extra food in the icebox, but look, you ain't even considering the end of what you're doing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah just brought them the word of the Lord and was like, hey, look, this is what he just told us. If y'all don't turn back right now, I'm putting everybody down. We ain't trying to hear all of that.
Bump that. We got what we need now, and it's tangible. We can see it, we can smell it, we can taste it, we can touch it.
And that's literally what witches do. Witches, they be like, look, we going for what's tangible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We going for what's tangible. What have your Sky Daddy done for me?
Now remember what we read in
that's what they be like though.
Hebrews 11, what faith is.
Right.
The evidence of things not seen.
That's one of the reasons why our ancestors rejected scriptural things from knowledge, because of the fact that they see everybody else around them with statues and idols, something that, like this brother was saying.
Tangible.
Things that are tangible, like the seed, like holy, like cherry, and because they're ignorant, they're thinking that these statues and these idols are giving them the blessing. The adversary is blessing too.
Exactly.
Yeah, the devil bless it. Yeah, that's what they saying here. We being blessed by all our wicked practices. So why should we follow the Most High? And we getting blessings now.
The point I'm getting to is that they can't see.
Eyes that have eyes that do not see. Right. Their needs must be born.
But yet still they see all the blessings that he did for them coming out of Egypt.
It's just like when Israel wanted a king.
And we got
1 Samuel 8, and he gave us a wicked king.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to follow the ways and righteousness of the Most High and His begotten Son. We wanted something tangible. We wanted a king like the other nations. They got somebody to answer to, that they could walk up to, they could see him, his physical form, all that. All we get is a voice. We don't want more. We want more than we want to be able to see him and touch him and grab him. Ooh. No faith. Like Thomas. Unless I see him and touch him, I don't believe. Even though he was with him for 3 years and know about the resurrection. Unless I see it. Seeing is believing. To this day.
What you hitting on is in this Romans 8:24-25. It says,
Yes.
For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope.
That's right.
For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for? But if we hope for what we see not, then do we wait with patience.
Yes.
And that actually go with that Hebrew 11, because hope and faith is pretty much the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Yeah, because
it's in the scripture.
if you see it, like shit, I see him tomorrow. Because that's your mindset. You ain't thinking about Most High. You ain't thinking spiritually. You're thinking carnally, earthly. So everything tangible, you already expecting to be there.
It's all you already know.
You already have that expectation.
You already know it's there. There ain't no need to put no hope in it because I see it.
But if you don't see it, you know you got to work for it.
And you gotta have that faith. You got to believe that, okay, I
It's
believe
gonna happen.
it's gonna come.
It's gonna happen.
You know what I'm saying?
And y'all stop letting people tell you about this. Speak it into the universe.
Yeah.
And it shall be. Don't get caught up with that foolishness that's taking Christ out of the equation. He created the universe. How the hell you gonna speak into a creation? Speak to the creator. Not the creation. What the creation gonna do for you?
Look, and
Me and you both clay.
Yeah.
What the hell you gonna do for me?
Look, and I've been running into a lot of witches, boy. Look, look. The first thing they'll tell you is they don't believe in no higher power. But I keep noticing that they always keep talking about the universe. You know what I'm saying? The universe will give you what you ask for. And I just be thinking to myself, like, so is the universe the highest or something? Is the universe the all high to you? No, it's not.
But the
it's
universe
not.
is vast.
But I'm like, why you keep talking about the universe then?
So
You know
what part of the universe comes the power and the understanding and wisdom? Which part of the universe?
They don't know what it is.
And I simply ask.
Don't know what it is they work.
They haven't a clue.
Exactly.
Bro, let's finish. Oh, I'm sorry. Was everybody, y'all good? Let's finish this out because I want to get to some of these other things by Christ.
We was in verse 18. No.
What we looking like on time, y'all?
427.
Okay, we got to move because it's quite a couple of things I want to hit beyond these studies.
All right, verse 18. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings onto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and pour out drink offerings onto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings onto her without our men?
So they asking a question. Did we do it without our men? No, they didn't do it without their men. Their men were present. They were there. They assisted in this foolish and wickedness. They said that, no, we didn't do it by ourselves. Our man was there. So don't just come and punish us. The man was there. That's where we got the instructions. Our coverings. So you telling me a woman's supposed to submit to this kind of covering? Abigail and Nabal. Remember how crazy as a Bessie bug he was? Rejecting the power of the Most High and the loyalty of David and his men. David was about to put that boy to sleep had it not been for his wife. All of them. He was finna, boy, David was already saddled up like, oh, we finna put in work. We on our way. She's like, oh no, boy. He finna put in work. Pissed David off. Like, oh, all you Negroes are dead men walking. These are men. So how dare we start clowning them sisters? She said, we didn't do this by ourselves. Our men instructed us. They showed us how to get down like this. They brought this to us. We didn't do this without them being present. He said, the men were there and the other women that just stood by, who were also complicit. If you stand by and you observe a crime going down, the police come and get you, guess what? They lock you up. They say, you didn't tell what was going down. Why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you call assistance? Did you even offer CPR to the victim? No, you complicit in this crime. But we call the sisters devils and dragons and witches and whores. Well, who's the first whore? Look in the mirror, man. Finish that out, Brian, so we can move on. Where you at?
Verse 20. Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, the incense that ye burned in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, did not the Lord remember them, and came it not into his mind? So that the Lord could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation, and an astonishment, and a curse, without an inhabitant, as at this day. Because ye have burned incense, and because ye have sinned against the Lord, and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore this evil has happened unto you, as at this day. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people, and to all the women, Hear the word of the Lord, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt.
So he tells you this is for the men and the women. Ain't no respect to persons. Y'all all guilty, so y'all gonna bear the punishment. There ain't just one law to the women and one different to the man. Y'all complicit in this crime. Y'all getting punished. Come on.
Verse 25. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, saying, Ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths, and fulfilled with your hands, saying, We will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. Ye will surely accomplish your vows, and surely perform your vows. Therefore hear ye the word of the Lord, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith the Lord, that my name shall no more be in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying, The Lord God liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine, until there be an end of them. Yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. And all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose word shall stand, mine or theirs.
That's good. The Most High said, yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna see how we're gonna see who's gonna play the game to the end. Because he will. Read that Isaiah 3 in your own time. It's another study. Let's hit this Sirach. Let's go to this Luke. Let's get into some of this with Christ. If we don't get a chance to hit this Ruth, put Ruth down in your homework. Ruth chapter 4. Read all the book of Ruth, and you see her chasteness and her willing to uphold the name of her dead husband, and how she submitted herself to the ways of our Elohim and became a servant and a handmaid to Naomi, and eventually became the wife of Boaz. But you also see in that story how Boaz took her, and he loved her because of her virtuousness, because her being chaste in the law and in faith. And so he didn't take her just because he was lusting after her. No, he tried the spirit in everything, and he saw her piousness towards the Most High and righteousness, and that's what made him want to be her husband. But you also see that he paid for her. He paid a dowry for her and redeemed her. Right? So these Negroes talking about, I ain't got to put up no money, I ain't got to do nothing. Yes, you do. They ain't free males, they females, like Dan say. There's a fee that must be paid and applied to their well-being. Luke chapter 8, 1 through 3. I want Romans 16.
Luke 8.
Yeah, Luke chapter 8, 1 through 3.
This about the sower and the seed, the parable of the sower and the seed. What you talking about, John 8? What was talking about?
No, Luke 1 through 3. Luke 8, 1 through 3.
Okay. Luke chapter 8, verse 1.
And then, hold on, let me look at 21. Okay, yeah, and then we're going to jump down to 19 through 21. And then I want Luke chapter 2 and 51.
All right, so 1 through 3, 19 through 21.
Yes, sir.
All right, Luke chapter 8, verse 1. And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and showing the glad tidings of the kingdom of God. And the 12 were with him. And certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils.
Now, you got people that says that Mary Magdalene was a whore. It never said that Mary Magdalene, she had 7 demons in her. She was possessed by demons and Christ healed her. And she became a disciple, a follower of Christ. Nowhere is it written that she was a bed wench. Nowhere is it written.
Where they get it from?
Rumors.
Right.
Rumors of men. No truth behind it. Read on.
Verse 2. No, verse 3. And Joanna,
No,
the
verse
wife.
2.
Huh?
Verse 2, right?
No, we only hit verse 2.
We did
You
too.
just did too?
Yeah.
Catch up, man.
Verse 3.
I sure need something like damn. Missed the whole thing.
And Joanna, the wife of, how you pronounce that?
Kuza.
Kuza.
CH is cut in Hebrew.
Kuza.
Kuza, Herod's steward, and Susanna, and many others which minister unto him of their substance.
So, Negroes talking this bad about the sisters, but Christ said it was many sisters that followed him, that he healed of evil spirits. And they ministered with their out of their own pockets. So they was providing money and everything. They were supporting the ministry, food and bringing raiment and everything. Sister, like even Sister Mama Bar brings down here and helps the ministry and the other sisters abroad and Papa Levi. You know, there's other people that provide services to our ministry to keep us going and keep us afloat. How do you deny that? How do you beat up on them sisters? But see, this one they'll go to because they were like, see, y'all supposed to supply us with goods. Slothful niggas.
Tell us how
But
you
they
really
won't
feel.
talk about Paul saying, hey, I supply my own because I'm a worker. I build tents, him and Agrippa. Won't talk about that. They're like, well, the sister supplied Paul and them, but Paul said, yeah, in certain instances I needed a little help. But I didn't rely upon that help to help my ministry. There was a lot of things I did for myself because I can work. I built tents and received my pay and supplied my own. Don't be a beggar. What I say, Romans 16.
No, you gotta jump down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, jump down.
19.
I'm sorry, 19 to 21. And then we're gonna go to that Luke 2 and 51. Then I wanted to hit that Romans 16.
All right, Luke chapter 8, verse 19. Then came to him his mother and his brethren, and could not come at him for the press. And it was told him by certain which said, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to see thee. And he answered and said unto them, my mother and my brethren are these which hear the word of God and do it.
Do with them. So he said, the same are my mother and my brethren that's doing the will of the Most High. So he may have many, but he extended the love to the sister that's doing the will of the Elohim. Luke 2 and 51. Let's see what this says.
Just want that one verse.
Where am I at? 251. No, start at 40. Let me see. Start at 41. Hit 41, 42, then No, 41 through 43. Yeah, you gotta go with all the way down, man. Start at 41.
Luke chapter 2, verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
So he talking about Christ, Hamashiach right here.
Verse 43. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem. And Joseph and his mother knew not of it. But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey. And they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance.
So they already a day's journey out, and they like, we thought the boy was with us. Where he at? Where that boy at? They looking, calling around to his kinfolk. Y'all seen Jesus? Y'all seen him? No, we thought he was with y'all. Oh. So, read on.
Verse 45. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him.
Like any parents would do, where our baby at? We got to go back. We got to backtrack. Where we lose him at? Read.
And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrow.
Now mind you, his daddy didn't say nothing. Mama came to him. Son, what you doing? Boy, we worried sick about you. Where you been? Just like most mothers. Boy, I beat you. Get you. Boy, where you been? Like I skipped town and went to Memphis and my mama didn't know it. I'll never forget that day when I got back.
I'm sure.
I'll never forget that day. You know who I was with? Mente, who's CeeLo Green's right-hand man. You ever heard that song, They Don't Dance No More? And he said, my name is CeeLo Green and this is Mente. That was my partner. Me and him was Ace Boone Coon. So we hop in the ride and just, he had a little Fiat Spider, man. We just go, get on the highway, go. His dad was a musician down in Memphis. So we went down there to see his pops and everything. Man.
How old were you?
I was a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Almost didn't make it to my 20s.
You just up and went out of town. Huh?
Didn't say nothing to nobody. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Didn't even take no clothes?
As if I was just going down the street and be right back. Nigga, we in Memphis.
How long y'all understand that, man?
Just overnight, but man, I didn't tell my mom and daddy, and that was before cell phones and everything. So once you gone until they saw you come back home. Or you call. I didn't call. I didn't say nothing. I just showed back up.
You showed up the belt there too, didn't you?
So you didn't
My
even
pop was
call.
a cop too.
You didn't call to ask him.
So back then they had these real thick leather belts that they wore.
Yeah.
Talking about that kind of
Man, I know every inch of that belt, boy. With the buckle.
Yeah, that was a buckle infraction right there, boy. It's the whole belt.
Yeah, I was tripping, bro. I don't know what got into me. I got beside myself. Thank God I'm still alive. Just because that was mercy granted. All right, where we at, bro?
Verse 49. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my Father's business? And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them. Verse 51. And he went down with them and came to Nazareth and was subject unto them. But his mother kept all these sayings in her heart. And Yahushua increased in wisdom and stature in favor with God and man.
So what I was getting at, the point of this was that he subjected himself to his parents. He obeyed the 5th commandment, honor thy mother and thy father, even though he was about his real father's business in the temple. Nonetheless, he went with his parents. So he could not be found blamed. There couldn't be no blame placed on him in doing the law. He did the law. He's the Messiah. He still did the law. That's what I wanted to hit on that. Let's hit this Romans 16. Then we're going to, I wanted to get into a little bit of marriage and everything, but y'all could, I'll give you those scripts, because what our time looking like?
4:47.
So what time we got to get out? About 5, what?
About 5:15 or so, bro.
At the latest, 5:15.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna hit a couple more, so y'all gonna have a little homework. I know y'all ain't mad with that. Y'all like homework. Even though y'all don't do it.
That's why we like it.
Because ain't nobody gonna ask us about it. But you also see that one of the first miracles he did was in favor of his mother. John chapter 2, the wedding at Cana, where he turned the water into wine. His mama asked for that favor. And he said, woman, my hour has not yet come. He said, but nonetheless, and see, a lot of people will see the word woman as if he was speaking to her in a disrespectful manner. No, he was saying the same as we might say mama or ma'am, yes ma'am, or we might consider a man sir. You know, it's a title of endearment and respect. Woman or my lady. He wasn't being disrespectful to his mother saying woman. Like, woman, if you don't get on. No, he wasn't doing it like that. He was bidding her respect. Woman. My time ain't yet, mama. But, you know, that's what you want. That's what I'm going to do for you. And then she in turn told his disciples, whatever he bids you, do it. He top dog, now do it. Don't hurt yourselves messing with him. Do what he asks you to do. For your own good. You know? But even as a mother, we see that she came, she like, hey boy, I'm still your mama. You need to get on back here. I'm like, but, hey, I got this business to handle, but nonetheless, I'm coming with you, mama. I'll be right there. I'm coming home. He didn't pull one of my pulls.
Boy.
No. So we see that he was subject to his parents. He obeyed the law. Honor thy mother and thy father. What did I say? Romans 16? Mm-hmm. Okay. Look at Romans 16. All right. Go ahead.
Start at 1?
Yes, sir. What did we hit that, what was that I wanted to hit?
Sit around
Isaiah
something.
5, about him, I am your husband. What was that?
Ephesians 5,
It was Ephesians 5,
about marriage.
where Most High said, I am thy husband.
No, that was Isaiah.
Oh, no, that's Isaiah 54:5.
Did we
No,
we didn't hit that?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, I need to hit that because that's important, because these Negroes say that they have to be under covering. So we definitely got to hit that. Hit this Romans 16 real quick so we can, matter of fact, we don't have to hit this Romans 16 will go with that Luke 8, and it's just showing a list of sisters that follow the ministry, okay? So put that with your Luke chapter 8. It just gives this Romans 16, 1 through 10 or 11. It gives a list of these sisters, and it goes on, you know, about them being received by the other brethren because they're doing the work of the ministry as well. So you can put that with your Luke 8:1 to show that there were sisters part of the ministry and the upkeep of the ministry and things of that nature, who followed Christ, who were devoted to Christ and salvation. Let's hit this Isaiah 54. I want to hit that because there's a Negro saying that if a sister don't have a covering, after we hit that Isaiah 54, Galatians 6 will go with that, or Galatians 4, I believe, will go with this Isaiah 54. Also, when we get there, I'll give you the reference scriptures to go with it, because we may not have time to hit them all, so that you have them in your arsenal, prepared to fight with those who are non-believers, and to put them on the right path, build them up with truth, and if not, shake the dust off our feet and keep it stepping. Isaiah 54, y'all.
Where you want to start at?
Start at 1. We don't have to have it all. I want to go down to 5. No, go down to 6. Then the Galatians 4:27 gonna say the same thing as this Isaiah 54. So put that next to your script. Your Galatians 4:27 is gonna go with this Isaiah 54. Also put in there with this Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 10 through 19, because it talks about the marriage of the ungodly children that they would bear, and they should have no root, even though they're married. See, the scripture says marriage is honorable and the bed undefiled. However, there's also a defiled marriage and a defiled bed. That's if the married couple are non-believers and involved in wickedness. Then that's an unrighteous marriage, and that's a bed defiled, because the mindset in that bedroom, which is supposed to be divine between the husband and the wife, is defiled with foolishness and wicked doctrine and wicked craft or wicked practices. Okay? They might be bringing something into the bedroom that need not be in there with them. So just because a couple was married don't mean it's always good. All right? Don't just get caught up, oh, I just want to be married. No, be married to the right one. And we'll see in Sirach, I believe it's 23 verse 14 through 28, he says, a man that doeth right by giving his daughter to a man of understanding. You don't just pass your daughter off to any old knucklehead. This Negro can't take care of your daughter. She gonna be back in your house.
And be trying to bring his ass.
And now we really gonna have a problem.
Right.
Because he gonna think he can push up and mouth off in your house. I will break your back and everything attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get it, y'all.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 54, and we'll start our reading in verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear.
He says, sing, O barren. Why is the barren singing? Ain't that a reproach? Read.
Break forth into singing, and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Most High.
More of the children of the desolate. Desolate how? No knowledge. No understanding, foolishness, witchcraft, abominable things. He said they got way more children than unmarried women out of wedlock. There's a whole bunch of little bastard slip children running loose and amok in this earth, causing havoc and mayhem. There's more of them than the ones of the married bed. Read on.
Verse 2. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed.
So this barren woman, don't be fearful, and don't be ashamed that you don't have children. You ain't brought children into this wicked world by bastard slips. Don't be ashamed. It's a good thing. Join yourself unto that which is righteous. Don't be ashamed, sisters. Lift up your head. Read on.
Neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood any more. For thy Maker is thine husband.
What?
For thy Maker is thine husband.
One more time for the people in the back.
For thy Maker is thine husband.
For thy Maker is thine husband. Sisters, don't fret. Because you ain't got no covering, the Most High is your husband.
That's right.
Don't fret what these Negroes say that's full of lasciviousness and harlotry. Don't worry about these Negroes talking crazy to you. You have a covering. The most righteous you could ever have.
Yes,
without sin, without blemish, without spot, without wrinkle. Born of a virgin and was created before time itself. You have a husband. You have a covering. Adhere to him. You read on. Finish that verse out.
The Lord of hosts is his name.
What is his name?
The Lord of hosts is his name.
There your husband is, sisters. Emos. There your husband is. You ain't got to go looking for no Negro.
That's right.
Niggas talking about find you a man and get with him. They ain't even telling you whether he right or not. Just get with him. This ain't what the scripts say. The scripts say you don't be ashamed, sister. Lift up your head. Don't be worried. Sing. You got a righteous husband. The Lord of hosts is his name. He created these old foul-mouthed niggas. Excuse my language, I'm getting hot. But it's the same as Sirach chapter 14, Sirach chapter 31. The niggard, a stingy.
Niggardly.
He said, why would a man have some riches and he's a niggard? That's in Sirach chapter 14, Sirach chapter 31. Don't be niggardly with your bread, stingy. And most of these Negroes are niggards because they're stingy with what they have, their substance with their wives. She's not permitted to have. This nigga gave his wife's plate up to a nigga.
Never that.
But that's all right. Some brother came and swooped over off her feet and took care of that little problem. Now she's dwelling safely.
And she's eating well.
And she's eating well. And she doesn't have to pass the plate.
Right.
That plate's hers. Well, you might know better. We're just saying peradventure.
Right.
And look, man, women need to start having more common sense, bro. Like, really
Well, there's a lot of them
studying and showing themselves approved. Because look, we could talk about the men all day, but like,
yeah, sisters, y'all, and that's why we're hitting some of these, just like, you know, the women led astray, silly women led astray with diverse lusts. You know, there's no excuse. That's why we read in Josephus that y'all got to hear the law. You have to know that you're going off. And if you go off, you're going to bear your own sins. You're going to bear the consequences of your own actions. Right. Now, we ain't here to say, oh, just soften the cushion for you because you're the weaker vessels and you our sisters, imams, and we just want to make it all soft and cushionable for you. No, this is the real deal. You mess up, you pay up. You do the crime, you doing the time. It is what it is. There's no respect to person. You trip, you gonna go, you going. For that goes double for, I mean, it's the same way for the sisters as it is for men in Matthew 7:21. Many shall come to me on that day saying, Lord, Lord, haven't we prophesied in thy name and done many wonderful works? And he gonna say, get to the left, for I never knew you, ye that worketh iniquity. So you sisters playing with crystal magic, you sisters going out being whores, thinking you can get a man and trap a man by your flower and things of this nature, your wicked train of thought is going to damn you to everlasting damnation. You're going to be held accountable. So, no, by any means are we saying y'all free from punishment. No, not by any means, but we are showing the other side that brothers fail to show you is your appreciation and the value that you possess in our nation. This is a study to give you a little encouragement and upliftment beyond what you've been hearing and being torn down and bashed to death by these nothing Negroes who claim to be coverings and priests and everything. We want to give you some encouragement and some lifting up. But we also want to show you will get your butt tore out the frame if you trip. It goes for you too, as well as the children. Where we at?
Verse 5 from the top. For thy maker is thine husband, the most high of hosts is his name, and thy redeemer.
Shabbat shalom, sisters.
Shabbat shalom says, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the Elohim of the whole earth, shall he be called.
Yes, sir.
For the Most High hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth when thou wast refused, saith thy God.
There it is. He compares Israel to a delicate woman. He talks about his love and his betrothed, his courtship with Israel in Ezekiel 16, like a woman, the same way. Hit this 1 Corinthians 7 real quick. Did we say Ephesians 5?
Yep.
Ephesians.
About the man.
Yeah, let's hit Ephesians 5 then. 1 Corinthians, we're going to close out with 1 Corinthians 7. But I'm going to give y'all some other examples. Christ that we didn't get to. Christ at John 4. Christ dealing with the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman, and peep game. Showing you his mercy and everything, and his grace towards other nations. It was the sister that approached Christ and told him. Christ approached her first, and she told him, wait a minute, you a Jew talking to me, a Samaritan? You ain't even supposed, it's in y'all's law that y'all ain't supposed to even have no dealings with us. But yet you extending an olive branch to me. And on top of that, this woman, and then the disciples came and said, man, put her away. What's up with, man, why you talking to her? She ain't part of our name, put her, get rid of her. He's like, no, y'all need to chill. Close your mouths and learn something. And he told her all about who she was, and he said, come drink from my fountain. I can give you everlasting salvation. You'll never thirst again in your life. You or your household. She like, what? Listen to him. He told her about her past, her present, and her future. She ran back. She like, oh, I gotta go tell somebody this. I gotta tell my whole house about this. Y'all won't believe it. I met the guy that the books are written about. The Lord, the Messiah. He out there. He just told me all about me, and he don't even know me. But he told me everything about me, past, present, and future. I believe. I believe. And everything about her was healed and saved at that very hour. We read in Mark chapter 7, the Grecian woman who said, yes, Lord, but the dogs wait for the crumbs from the table. She acknowledged her position in status, but said, I'm willing to wait for that. I know you are the Lord. I'm willing to wait. He says,
Oh, yeah, they keep their doors locked.
oh, okay.
Yakanai.
Yakanai ain't out there? He probably doing some work. So, you know, we have several examples. So, you know, you put that John 4 in there. John chapter 4, 7 through 27. Matthew chapter, wanted to get to that marriage and stuff. And but put in there, because what time we at now?
507.
Oh, we ain't got no time. So,
Yeah.
John chapter 4, 7, verse 7 through 27.
You said Matthew?
Matthew 19, 22. Mark chapter 5, 34. Goes with that, Luke, did I say Luke 7, 12 through 44? Also remember in John 19, when Christ was on the cross, he told the disciples, this is your mother. Take care of her. And your sisters. Jesus had sisters too. So remember, he was more concerned about the well-being of his mother being left alone,
Look at this
deprived
dude,
of her
look.
son.
Somebody say, that's blasphemy, telling sisters your covering is with Yeshua is not good enough, and damnation to you for not having a covering. That's deception and a huge stumbling block.
Man, we just
This is some Gervais Robinson.
Man, shut up and get the hell
So maybe
out.
we need to go on there and put the boot to your ass. How about that?
Brother Jacob must be napping.
Yeah. See ya, Gervais.
Well, also look into 1 Corinthians 7 there, knucklehead. Second witness.
Yeah, we gonna.
But we ain't gonna play your game, bruh. Do you? Do you, man?
Yeah, do you?
We ain't worried about what you talking, bumping your gums. That's one of them type of niggas. That's one of them type Negroes. And then remember, there's in Matthew 22, the women with 7 husbands, and all of them died. And they were asked, the Pharisees was asking Christ, who's going to be our husband? The first one, the last one, whichever. He said neither will be given in marriage because they'll be like the angels in heaven. So now you have women who are in angelic form. So angels are not always necessarily men. You have Zechariah chapter 5 and 9, you know, where it talks about women angels. You have the book of Enoch that talks about the sirens, who were the women who gave birth to the Nephilim, whose spirits traveled over onto the other side of the flood, who were like mermaids. Sirens, they call the sirens. And you hear the sirens on the emergency vehicles and everything, and high-pitched sound and everything, but they also refer to mermaids or women singers like mermaids. They have these high-pitched voices. That's in the book of Sirach. I think where 2 by left out. It's in Sirach, I believe, but I think it might be 23.
What you was talking about?
9, or was that chapter 9 we were talking about, that Sirach?
Oh, yeah. Chapter 9.
Sirach chapter 9, 1 through 9. And talk about he say don't get infatuated with a woman singer. And gaze not upon the beauty of a maid, nor entertain the company of a man's wife. Shabbat shalom, Raphael.
Shabbat shalom, Mark.
You know what I'm saying? So, you got, you put in there, you definitely want your Genesis chapter 1, 26, 27, because he made male and female in the image of the Most High. They were both created male and female. So the female is created in his image as well, not just the male. All right? And she's representation of the earth. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, he says the man, Christ is head of man, man is head of woman, woman is head of children. There's a natural order. However, he says one that doesn't marry, he says shit, the woman that is not married has the curse of the Most High.
Right.
And he that is married has the curse of her husband. Or vice versa. So there it is again. It says the woman that has no covering, no physical covering, she has a spiritual covering, which is Christ.
We already read it. It's written, brother.
But you have a second witness in 1 Corinthians 7.
Right.
Read your Ephesians 5, because we ain't going to have time. We need to get on out of here, get our second prayer on, y'all. So Ephesians 5, put that on your notes, in your notes.
Right.
John 19, where Christ on the cross was saying, woman, here's your son, brethren, here's your mother. Take care of my mama, take her, because he was caring for the well-being of his mother. He was looking after her before he gave up the ghost. He was more concerned about her well-being than his own well-being up on the cross. Shows you other example of his value and his appreciation to the woman. Genesis, where the man and the woman, Adam and Eve, were joined together, no longer twain, but one flesh. You also see that in 1 Corinthians 7 and also Ephesians 5, that love your wife like Christ loved the church and gave himself a ransom for it. Also, you see in Micah, get that Micah chapter 2, where it says, love the wife of thy bosom, the wife of thy youth. And he shows how the Most High say he hated putting away. He don't like divorce. He ain't with that. He said when a man was to get married, it was supposed to be unto death, doing part. That's why you say that vow when you're married.
Right.
This is supposed to be forever, because when he married us, it's forever.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse. Sirach chapter 23, 14 through 28. Sirach chapter 9, 1 through 9. Sirach chapter 7, 15 through 28. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, 10 through 19. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4, 1 through 6. These talk about the unmarried or the ungodly married couple and their ungodly brood of children, which goes with that Isaiah 54 and that Galatians 4 about it's better to have no children than to have a whole bunch of children that ain't worth a damn. I think we should be good on it. How we looking out there too, by any questions, any concerns, any comments that we need to be addressing before we check out? Remember that Ruth, the book of Ruth. Put that in there. 1 Corinthians 11, 9 through 11 and 12. That's all I'm gonna get y'all.
We all good here. Everybody was saying excellent lessons about the class.
All praises to the Most High and His only begotten Son. May He continue to have mercy and bless us with wisdom, understanding, and knowledge of His divineness.
Or we hit Psalms 50.
You want that 50?
Appreciate it.
Let's yeah, we can do that for you.
So next time y'all hear that doctrine Negroes talking about, she better get a covering, and she going to, you tell them, you finally show them that Isaiah 53, 54, 1 Corinthians 7. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to go tit for tat. You ain't got to, you know, get your face all balled up and all that. Just put it down there. 2 witnesses or more should every word of y'all be justified.
That's right.
Because in the midst of those 2 witnesses, he's also present. So he's going to give you what you need to know. He's going to stack you up, load you up. Because this weapon of war don't run out of bullets.
That's right.
It's forever loaded, locked and loaded. 613 in the chamber, spitting. You just got to know how to use your weapon. Know your weapon. You ain't got to contend with nobody about this. You ain't got to go tit for tat with nobody.
No.
The truth is absolute and stand on its own. This is the word of the Most High, who was here before all of us. It's going to be here after all of us. It don't need us to support it. Just bring it forth. Cry loud and spare not. Have no respect to persons. Everybody can get it.
That's
Equal
right.
opportunity.
You see how he spare him all.
And he real proud of that.
She got the goody good.
All right, family, we're going to get this closed in prayer with the Most High's permission. And in the name of his only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua Mashiach. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 50th chapter it reads, "The mighty Elohim, even the Most High, have spoken, and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, Yah hath shined. Our Elohim shall come, and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above, and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness. For Yah is judge himself. Selah.
Selah.
Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Yisrael, and I will testify against thee. I am Yah, even thy Elohim. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings, to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he-goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon the 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell thee. For the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto Yah thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High, and call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked Yah saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant into thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget Yah, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversations aright will I show
the salvation of Yah. Hallelujah! Say that! Yes, sir.
Have a shekel or two. Don't forget the ministry.